303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk with Buzz Knight.
Just like that, we're back to easy driving throughout the Denver Metro. Despite that wintry weather, I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. East of downtown, I-70 westbound, some stop and go between Colorado Boulevard and York. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And speaking of ordinary traffic, north through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, stop and go traffic at Vasquez. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound, slippery road conditions between Beaver Brook and the Veterans Memorial Tunnels. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. We're hoping that snow will start to alleviate as the day goes on. High of 44. Overnight low of 24. Tomorrow the sun is back with a high of 49. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, Music History on Foot. Join us for an upcoming episode with record executive Damon Dash and rapper Freeway. Listen to the Taking a Walk podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Art of Granite right now will give you a price on the phone for countertops. The name says granite, but they do it all. Natural stone, man-made material, and anything out on the market now. Wholesale on all countertop materials, tear out and haul aways free. And the bathroom vanity is free when you have the kitchen done, or you can get a free kitchen sink. Call Mitch right now. Tell him Tom told you to call. Get a price. Seriously. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Today is car day. What does that mean? That means RVs are motor vehicles. RVs. And people always want to know where they can get good service for RVs. Regular garages can't handle them. But you know what? I am happy to tell you, LazyDays.com can handle it. Lazy Days, of course, part of our family now. They merged with Century RV up in Longmont there. And here's the deal. They have a beautiful maintenance facility for any and all people. Plus, of course, they sell new and used RVs at any LazyDays.com. But for the service, the big service facility, call them 303-453-1111, LazyDays.com.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy Hansford. Troy sells more houses for more money than anyone in Denver. And his secret is a unique marketing system that's proven to get his clients the most money. Troy is so confident in his system that he will make you this guarantee. He'll sell your house at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. Now, here's how it works. You just meet with Troy, you agree on a price and a timeline, and if he can't get you that price, he'll pay you $5,000 guaranteed. Troy Hansford, he spends tens of thousands on marketing to generate demand for your home. Troy has hundreds of approved home buyers looking for houses, and they might be a buyer for your home right now. So give Troy a call at 720-900-4433. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in 7 days. So call Troy Hansford. Get more money at 720-900-4433. 720-900-4433.
Troy Hansford, RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions
When you
apply.
have the income you need for retirement, worried about your investments, there's something you can do about it. A plan guaranteed in writing not to lose a dime. Guaranteed returns, income for life. Call now for a free retirement evaluation and get a free best-selling book by certified financial planner Joe Chiano. 303-779-6600. The book, Smart Money Moves. And it's free. 303-779-6600. Free retirement review and a book. 303-779-6600.
Done right kitchens, baths, finished basements, windows and doors. Hi, Dan Cicchini here. So your kitchen's outdated and not with the times? Leaky, moldy, ugly bathroom? Ooh, is that dingy basement just asking to give you some beautiful added living space? You have the reasons why to get your project done, but what about the when? We're about to help you with the when, and you'll get it done sooner than later. Todd?
Okay, Dad, here it is. Folks, we are, for a very short time, offering bank financing or a significant cash discount on all services for select install dates. With so many style, color, design, and material options available, you'll be really excited to start the solution to your kitchen, bath, or basement dilemma now. Contact us for details.
That's really exciting, Todd. For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, bathrooms, counters and floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Done right. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Go to drhi.com or 303-722-2295 or 800-362-8370.
Window coverings are the frosting on the cake. You need trusted experts to assure quality and design. You want dependable service, reliable warranties, and value pricing. You get all of that with the company Made in the Shade. Family owned and operated, all major brands, draperies, shades, high-tech options, even exterior rolling shutters. Serving South Metro Denver to Castle Rock. 720-458-6566 or simply Google Made in the Shade. Electric rates are going up, up, up. You need Red Rock's Roof and Solar. They do it all, sales, installation, and service. And because they do roofs too, they got you covered. Locally owned, veteran owned, more than 35 years combined experience. The only company to guarantee an activation date or they pay you for lost energy. Battery backups, auxiliary generators. 303-704-2449. 704-2449. RedRocksRS.com.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for the entire year. Don't go another year compromising because of pain in your knees or shoulder. Call QC Kinetics right now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body actually has what it needs to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics makes that happen without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. You know, the future of pain treatments is here now, and QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or injury. Now, this is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that gets you moving again. So get your life back. And remember, it's non-surgical. Make this the year that you fight back against that pain. Take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics and get your free consultation on the calendar today. 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. ProBid Energy for your solar systems, by the way. ProBid will give you free estimates and bids, guarantee the price, and they do sales, installation, and service. $21,000 all in for most systems after credits. That's with battery backup as well. That's an incredible price. 303-623-1531. ProBidEnergy.com. So, Jenny has an issue with life protection. By the way, we're working on two problems right now. Grand Kia fixed a car. It doesn't sound like a big deal. They went $200 over the insurance estimate. Big deal, right? The problem is he can't get a copy of the invoice to compare and why it went over. I think his insurance should pay for it. I'm not really upset with Grand Kia on that one for not meeting the insurance company's estimate. It could be anything. Then CNC Plumbing. Now that bothers me. They replumbed an entire house and won't even call the woman back. And I don't think there's an excuse for that. So I guess we're giving that one to Deputy Doc. Just have him give her a call and help her out, for God's sakes. Come on. Then Jenny, she has an issue with, is it LifeLock you're talking about? What are you talking about, Jenny?
Yes, it's called Life Protection 24/7.
Okay, I want to make clear it's not LifeLock then. It is not LifeLock. It's Life Protect. What is Life Protection 24/7?
It's a medical device alert that if somebody falls or needs help, you press the button.
Got it. Okay. I've seen them, a bunch of them. There's all different kinds.
Different ones.
Where'd you get this one?
So, this is my story. I have a lady that lives in my house that I take care of, and she has a different device that she's had for many years called Mobile Health. And last week, she saw her bank statement, and there was a transaction for $128 from Life Protection. So she immediately called and said, I'm with Mobile Health. So these people said, well, Jenny was the one that called to to set up this for you. So when I got home, she says, Jenny, did you call? And I said, no, not at all. So I called them and I said, I haven't called. How did you guys make this transaction?
Well, here's what I want to know. Hold on. On the one she has, the mobile help. Is it mobile help?
She's had mobile health for many years.
Is it health or is it health like you're healthy?
Health.
Okay.
Yes.
Mobile health. That particular one that she has, mobile health. Had she been paying a regular fee for that, monthly or yearly?
Oh, yes. Yeah, every 3 months she pays.
Okay. She had mobile. Okay. And mobile health, how much does she pay for that?
Oh gosh, it's about, I think, 300 and something a year. So
okay,
divided
got
by
it. No,
three.
I get it. 300 a year. Now another question: is it possible that life protection took over for mobile health?
No, not at all. No.
Okay,
because,
so this life protection was right out of the blue, just an extra charge.
Right. So then she called the bank, and the bank canceled her new credit card that she had just got 3 weeks ago.
You mean and did they take the charge off that life protection made?
So we were going today to the bank to find out if that happened.
Okay, good.
The problem is that yesterday we got a box from Life Protect with a device. So I called them and I said, I'm sorry, but she already has services through Mobile Health. Can you please send me a return label because she never approved for this transaction? And we called last week, and
so did they send you a return label?
No. So that's why I'm calling you, Tom, because I was with them for almost 2 hours, giving me the round. They would transfer me from one
I would
person
ignore
to
them.
the other.
I would just put the thing away and ignore it. I wouldn't try to send it back. I wouldn't try to do anything. If they don't care, I don't care. Just get the charge erased and be done with it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that people knew.
Jenny, you're not obligated. If that woman did not, your friend, is it, or someone that lives with you, right?
Yes.
Is this a relative?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. I wouldn't even worry about it. If they don't give a damn, I wouldn't waste my time.
Okay.
I one time had a credit show up in my bank account. Money. It was over $100,000. And I called the bank to let them know. And I started getting transferred. And here's what I said. No more transfers. If anyone's missing $100,000 or wants it back, come and get it. I am not doing a thing from here on out. There was an adjustment made 2 months later. But that is amazing to me how stupid people are. I would not fret. If you know you didn't order it, if you know it's not yours, then I would not bother at all. That's it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, what do you think's the number one cheapest car? I don't mean cheapest in quality. Least expensive car in all of 2020, the brand new cars. What do you think?
I'm thinking it would have to be a Kia brand.
What do you think? Rodney, what do you think? Probably a Mitsubishi. Yeah, Rodney, a Mitsubishi, the Mirage. Brand spanking new, $17,790 so far, what we can find.
Right.
MSRP. Now, guess what? The Kia, so really, Jeff was right behind you, and it's almost the same price, for God's sake, $17,875. I mean, come on, those are right in there, right?
Right.
Now, 3 is Nissan Versa, $18,745. In fact, you have, and then from there on out, it goes into the 20s, but still pretty damn affordable, which I find shocking that they're even available at that.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Just like that, we're back to easy driving throughout the Denver Metro. Despite that wintry weather, I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. East of downtown, I-70 westbound, some stop and go between Colorado Boulevard and York. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And speaking of ordinary traffic, north through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, stop and go traffic at Vasquez. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound, slippery road conditions between Beaver Brook and the Veterans Memorial Tunnels. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. We're hoping that snow will start to alleviate as the day goes on. High of 44. Overnight low of 24. Tomorrow the sun is back with a high of 49. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
When's the best time to plant a tree? It was 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? It's now. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I remember years ago being sent home from elementary school with a small tree in a styrofoam cup. I know some of you can relate. If that was planted, it's now bigger than you are. Your finances are the same way. The best time to get started, or the best time to get a second opinion, is now. And with time and patience, imagine how big your financial tree could be. 20 years ago, if you invested $1,000 in Apple stock, it could be worth over $500,000 today. That is a big tree. Do that for you and do that for someone you love. Call Trajan Wealth today and help us help you plant that financial tree. Call 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300. Or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Right now, we could all use some extra cash, so why not visit David Ellis Jewelry to cash in your old, useless, tangled jewelry, coins, and anything else containing precious metals. He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I recommend David Ellis Jewelry because I've known David for years. I trust him. You can too. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. 303-322-8779. 322-8779.
Security. That's a wonderful word. Too bad so few of us get to experience it with regard to our finances. With a Life Changer loan, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You see, on a Life Changer loan, you can do your banking inside your mortgage. So you can pay principal first. You can pay down, pay off, and borrow back at your leisure. Control, flexibility, and security. That's what you get with a Life Changer loan. It's not magic. It's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Life Changer Loan Corp is a licensed Colorado mortgage company. NMLS 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
The lowest priced water heaters around, but you better act fast because prices are going up at the first of the year. Rheem and A.O. Smith 6-year warranties, fully installed with new supply lines and a new flex gas line, starting at just $1,299 for 40 gallons and 50 gallons just $13.99. This deal only from Euro Plumbing. 303-668-6844. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. 303-668-6844. Why does Frank Duran, the real estate man, get top value for the homes he sells?
Because I take the personal time. Every single listing I go on, I video the property. Then I study the film, I study the competition, and literally look at the strengths and weaknesses we have versus the competition. That's how we determine the peak price.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to use Frank Duran, the real estate man.com with RE/MAX Alliance. 303-920-1622. That's 920-1622.
Hey, it's Michael Brown. Join me on the Amalfi Coast next spring. Southern Italy, the Abbey of Monte Cassino, Italy's best kept secret Puglia, Caserta, Sorrento, Pompeo, Positano, and Rome too. We'll take the high-speed jet foil to the Isle of Capri, 5267, and that includes your airfare. Memorable gastronomical tour of Italy. Toll-free 888-733-9494. Online, conservativetours.com. Join me and Tamara next spring on the Amalfi Coast. I'll see you on the Isle of Capri. 888-733-9494.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here for you. The dedicated team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care for substance use and mental health disorders. We believe recovery is possible. The Raleigh House can help. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House, 720-797-8717.
I love honest and experienced auto repairs. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, recommending Ray and his team at RKC Automotive. 25 years strong, domestic and imports, old or new, major engine work, transmissions, brakes, electrics, big and small, they do it all on Evans, just west of Tejon on the south side. RKC Automotive, 720-749-3965. Open Saturdays too, 720-749-3965.
For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Done right. Bank financing or significant cash discounts. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. DRHI.com or 800-362-8370.
The only real clean for my home, I'm Tom Martino. For Zero Res, no soaps or chemicals, get Zero-Fied. Carpets and ductwork, 23% off. Clean Out 2023. 303-471-5150, ZeroResDenver.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right. I normally don't do this, but I got to do it this time. George, listen, man. This is my friend George. I've known him for many, many years. He has Fix It 24/7. George, I want to stir things up today. It's not too cold, not too hot. It's just in between. I want to do something, a screaming deal for today. I'm going to be asking a few people. I'm sorry for the cold call like this, but I would like to do something with your furnace cleaning. Now, listen, I understand you don't have to explain. $39 is for new customers only, and it's for special. It's a special. I mean, that thing would cost way over $100 because you spend a lot of time to clean the hell out of it, get the dirt out, check the whole system, 100% no breakdown guarantee. But I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I know, like I said, you don't have to tell me that $39 in and of itself is a special deal, but I'm going to ask you to do even better than that. And if we want, we can limit the number of callers.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do we'll do it for $19 for the first 20 callers.
Holy
today.
crap, $19. Hold on. Now, I just want people to know, if you and a friend and a couple people go to Starbucks, you're going to spend $19. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say you can't get too
Honest
happy
to God,
for $20.
No. That won't pay their gas to get to your house. Okay? So now, are we limiting it to the first 20 calls? Are we limiting it to new customers?
Yeah, only people that haven't had it done. Look, Tom, the last time this cold snap just happened, every call we went to, people were, and we had so many people that broke down, and it's because they didn't get this done. We guarantee your system won't break down or this cleaning's free. Your system, this next cold snap that's coming, will not break down this season at all, by the way. And it'll be running more efficiently. You prolong the life of your system. Like, people just don't understand. You got to get this done and get it done the right way. Like, not just a check or a tune-up. It's a cleaning that we do. So we'll do it for $19 for the first 20 callers that call right now.
You will never beat that. Never beat that. First 20. I'm going to give out this number. Now, remember, 20 callers, $19. You must be a new customer or a customer. It's all right if you're a customer, but never had this done before. And listen, you will be shocked at what they do. They don't just look at it and take a little vacuum and clean out the cabin here, the little compartment, the blower compartment. They go through everything, every square inch of that furnace. I had it done. It's amazing. Now, that's $19. The first 20 callers, and I'm going to give out the number, and you have to be someone who hasn't had it done. George, I just want to ask you something. I'm going to be a stickler. If I had it done on one furnace but not another, seriously, I'm asking, can I have it done? Or if somebody just moved, can they have it done in their new place?
Yeah, we'll make an exception for that. Just tell them if that's
okay.
the person listening,
So in other words, if they're in a new place or if it's new place, here's the number. Okay, it's 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. $19, man. This is unbelievable, especially now because you're in between right now. You're not going to get slammed with cold weather today, so you can get it done but it's got to be only the first 20 calls. Now, it might spill into a day. Can you get them all done? You can't get them all done today, can you?
No, they'll schedule. We can get it done soon enough, though.
Okay, yeah. All right, before the next cold snap. And that's 720-526-3939, $19. George, what's the average time you spend, or isn't there an average? There's some. I know you spend more than an hour.
It's 90 minutes. I mean, our average is 90 minutes because we actually pull the blower motor out, we clean it. Dirt cakes on that blower motor, and then oil starts leaking. Then it causes a bunch of problems if you don't get this done. And other companies do not do this. They'll call it a rejuvenation and charge you $1,000 to do this. We do it as part of our regular maintenance because it's the right thing to do. It's what you're supposed to do. The reason why we say first clients that have never seen this before is because we don't want people taking advantage of it. We just want you to see what we do, and that's why we do this.
Okay, so it's a loss leader. They call it $19. They want you to love them, basically, and you will. And thank you, George. Appreciate it. 720-526-3939. Okay, guys. By the way, I can see you guys writing the number down. Okay, so I guess you would technically qualify. Okay, so you have the top three lowest price cars: Mitsubishi Mirage, Kia Rio, Nissan Versa. The Forte gets into the 20, the Kia Forte. The Hyundai Venue, $20,900. The Kia Soul. So, man, Kia, all these Japanese cars, really low price. Now, the only American car in that top 10, and he ventured to, who wants to guess? The only new American car in the lowest top 10.
Malibu?
Nope. Chevy. No. Chevy Trax.
Trax.
The Trax a nice little SUV. Is it or not? I don't know.
I mean, it's bargain basement, but they, for the money, it's deal.
It's definitely a Korean car, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's an import.
Then the Nissan Sentra. That's $21,700. It's a nice little car. Nissan Kicks, $21,900. And the Hyundai Elantra, $22,065. All good cars. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Get me your call. And by the way, Logan, we'll get you in there with your heater for your Jeep Wrangler and more. Give us a call, 303-713-TALK.
Cold weather is coming. Is your furnace ready? Plumbline can get it ready with a maintenance check for just $79. That's a plumb crazy deal. They'll make sure it's running efficiently and catch the little problems before they become serious.
Earning trust since '98 from Castle Rock to Longmont with the ethics and character to do it right. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. PlumlineServices.com. Service at home. Servants at heart. PlumlineServices.com.
Need RV service of any kind? See our friends at Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont. I-25 and exit 240, a half-mile south on Frontage Road. A new multi-million-dollar facility dedicated to repairs and maintenance, even bodywork and windshield replacements for all RV owners. Highly trained techs with an average of 14 years experience for the best purchase, service, and ownership experience. Multiple locations nationwide for your convenience. LazyDays.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver.
An iHeart radio station.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The International Court of Justice demanding Israel contain death and damage in Gaza, but stopping short of ordering a ceasefire. Closing arguments in former President Trump's defamation trial. Trump leaving the courtroom during prosecutor Roberta Kaplan's closing arguments today. ABC's Aaron Katursky at the courthouse.
As Kaplan continued to say that the former President Trump lied about E. Jean Carroll and that his statements were harmful to her leading up to this big ask for millions of dollars in damages, Trump simply rose from his chair and exited the courtroom.
The United Nations Human Rights Office says last night's execution of Alabama death row inmate Kenneth Smith by nitrogen gas, the first time the new method has been used, could amount to torture in violation of international human rights law. But Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says Smith got what he asked for. This is ABC News. American reporter Evan Gershkovich's pre-trial detention has been extended in Moscow. More from ABC's Tom Rivers at the Foreign Desk.
Back in court again for another hearing, the same outcome.
Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, arrested on espionage charges, will now remain behind bars until at least the end of March. That means the journalist will spend at least a year in custody in Russia. The 32-year-old was detained last spring while on a reporting trip some 1,200 miles east of Moscow. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
More tech layoffs, this time at Microsoft's gaming division. 1,900 employees at Activision Blizzard and Xbox are losing their jobs. The cuts come 3 months after Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. Big upset down under. 22-year-old Jannik Sinner beat Novak Djokovic in the semifinals of the Australian Open. Prior to this loss, Djokovic had won 33 straight matches at the Grand Slam. Dave Packer, ABC News.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly...
KHOW News Time, 11:03.
District 4 congressional candidates participated in a spirited debate last night. 9 candidates were on the stage touting their qualifications to replace Ken Buck. 3rd District Congresswoman Lauren Boebert drew criticism for switching districts and defended her decision.
My boys and I needed a fresh start. That's been very public of what the home life looked like, and I'm sorry to bring that up. I've tried to put it into a very pretty package and bring my ex-husband lots of honor, but since there is nothing private about my personal life, it is out there.
In addition to the District 4 debate, there was also a debate for District 8 Republican candidates at last night's event in Fort Lupton. The Denver Police Department plans to add 167 new officers and 111 new license plate readers to the city. It's part of a 5-step plan the mayor and police chief announced to crack down on car thefts. The department has already had success with license plate readers as car thefts at DIA dropped by 90% after the devices were installed there. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
Just like that, we're back to easy driving throughout the Denver Metro. Despite that wintry weather, I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. East of downtown, I-70 westbound, some stop and go between Colorado Boulevard and York. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And speaking of ordinary traffic, north through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, stop and go traffic at Vasquez. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound, slippery road conditions between Beaver Brook and the Veterans Memorial Tunnels. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. We're hoping that snow will start to alleviate as the day goes on. High of 44. Overnight low of 24. Tomorrow the sun is back with a high of 49. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
New year, new hiring needs? Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Up to a 30% upfront bonus and 12% per year guaranteed growth for retirement. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and these are the highest guarantees with annuities I have seen in my life. When interest rates are this high, there are silver linings, and annuity guarantees are one of them. Up to a 30% bonus upfront for retirement income. On $100,000, that's up to $42,000 guaranteed in the first year. And it's because of the economy and its high interest rates. Don't let anyone, especially another financial advisor, tell you it's not true. Up to 30% upfront just for opening an account and up to 12% per year guaranteed income growth. Don't miss out. This won't last forever. If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today. Call 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Inflation?
Yeah, I still hate it.
Inflation salvation.
Save me with some cash.
Oh my God! Keep listening every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your chance to win $1,000. Just listen for the hourly keyword, then enter it at khow.com. Sponsored by Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis. When you're in a wreck, call the attorneys I trust at Lerner & Rowe. The consultation is free and they don't charge you a penny until they settle your case.
Call Lerner
and Rowe. Those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show here on Car Day. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Get your calls in. We'll go right to the phones. We love what we do. By the way, semaglutide is the compound, is the main ingredient in these weight loss drugs people are raving about. And we have it available in the compounded form, denverregen.com, denverregen.com, just $250 a month. Injection supplies, the compounded drug, doctor consultations, it's all included. denverregen.com. Always check with your doctor if you're concerned about compounded drugs or losing weight or anything, but it's denverregen.com. They also have MDs to talk to you, denverregen.com. So Logan has a problem with his heater in a 97 Jeep Wrangler. How many miles on that Jeep Wrangler?
I got like 180.
How's it running, man?
It runs really great.
97. Is it in good shape? Does it look good, the interior and everything?
Oh, yeah, it's real good shape, man. I bought it down in Denver and Longmont somewhere.
How long have you had it?
I had it for 3 years.
Okay. How old is that coming up on now? Is that?
Well, what's going on is with my heater. I changed out the fan. I changed out the resistor. Now you can hear it going, but it's not blowing out air like it should. It's like lukewarm air.
Is that just a heater core? What is that?
Like, you've got the bypass up there by the thermostat, and if you're getting restricted flow getting to the heater core, you could be having a problem there.
So flush the heater core, you're thinking?
Yeah, possibly flush the heater core. You might have a restriction or some buildup inside those heater bypass hoses.
How do you flush a heater core?
You literally just run fluid through it, just circulate it.
Yeah, you run water through it, but you run it the opposite way, right?
Yeah, run it the opposite way, and it's best if you can use hot water, but it's kind of hard to maintain it that way.
Yeah.
BG doesn't sell anything.
There are conditioners you can put in there to clean it prior to. It'll loosen up some of the sludge and some of the buildup inside there.
Is it a BG product?
The BG has one, yes.
Okay.
I would definitely, I mean, with something that old, I would definitely use something to loosen it up and not just do water,
Well, and double check as long as you're doing it. If you've got a digital voltmeter, check your antifreeze itself and make sure it's not carrying electrical charge.
Why is that?
Because you may want to flush the entire system. That will start eating up, the not only the radiator itself, but it will eat the metal components that it's running through.
When you say it carries an electrical charge, so an electrolytic reaction starts when the coolant breaks down, right?
It'll start breaking down metal components.
And that's much like a water heater or anything
Very
holding
much so.
water.
Mm-hmm.
People,
All right, man. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. A lot of people don't understand that it's not the actual water water minerals can build up on something, but that's not what is corrosive. What's corrosive is the electrolytic, or it becomes the tank or the radiator becomes a battery. And that's really what it is. And what happens is the liquid starts eating away at the walls, and it creates a battery. It's a circuit, and you got to break that. You either have to short circuit it like they do in a water heater with a sacrificial anode, and then that anode sacrifices itself instead of the tank because it's quicker to corrode than the tank. So the electrons will go to the path of least resistance. If that doesn't work, but when a car that wouldn't work, they don't have anodes in cars. Do they sacrificial anodes?
No, that's why you're supposed to.
I wonder though, and it sounds like a crazy idea, maybe, but why couldn't you insert in a block some kind in the flow of coolant or stuff a sacrificial? And is that crazy? I mean,
changing out your antifreeze and whatnot.
I know
it's
it's
supposed
easy.
to be scheduled maintenance.
You're right.
So as long as you change it out on a regular basis, you'll avoid that problem.
Yeah, that's true. 303. I'll nix that idea. I'm not going to put it in my notebook for a future idea. Little sacrificial anodes inside blocks. Anyway, AJ, what's happening? There you go. Hold on. There you go, AJ. What's happening, AJ?
Hey, I was giving you a call about 3 weeks ago. A Amazon driver backed into my son's vehicle while it was parked.
Yeah. Did you call us on this before? Because we had one other call about an Amazon driver.
No.
Okay. So 3 weeks ago, an Amazon driver. Now, do you have proof of it? Like on a Ring doorbell or something?
Yeah, we got it on our security system.
Okay. And how much damage was done?
Well, we got a couple estimates. One was about $3,200.
Wow! Whoa! This is not just a little nick. We're talking $3,200.
It's where they hit the vehicle is the issue.
Okay, are they okay? What's Amazon doing about it?
So they reached out to them. They told them that they would send them a check for $1,600.
Now, how did they come up with that? Well, hold on. It could be that the repairs you got are putting on new stuff, and they're saying, "Look, first of all, let's talk about the vehicle."
Okay.
What is it?
2010 Nissan Sentra.
Oh, that's not terrible. 2010 Nissan Sentra. And what are they? How did they reduce it? Did they let you know how they're reducing that price?
No, not that I know of. He said he just got a email from him.
We got it. That's all they said. They're offering them basically half, and there's a reason for that. Okay, because they have to put it back to the way it was, but they don't have to make it better. I'm trying to discern if the estimates he got would make it better than he had before the accident. So
where they hit it was where the rear quarter panel meets the door jamb.
Yeah.
So they said they have to cut it all out and then put in a new one.
And that wouldn't be making it better. That would just be replacing it, right? I mean, like it's not like he's getting a lot of new stuff, right?
No.
I don't get it. I don't think they can win this one. And I think it's a slam dunk. I mean, why would they be depreciating a repair like that? Jeff, I can't think of a reason.
It almost feels like they're just strong-arming him. I mean,
I think they're just trying to make an offer to see if he goes away. Did Amazon do this, or is it an insurance company that wrote to him?
It was their adjuster.
Do you know for who? Are they self-insured? Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that information.
I would think a company like that probably is. Okay.
This should be an easy one for small claims.
It really easy. Why don't you try? Why don't you try calling for them?
Okay, I can do that.
Here's what I would say. I'm going to give you some words to say here. You don't have a bad faith claim because they're not your company. But I would say, look, we are not asking. These are the key words to ask when you talk to the adjuster or to Amazon. We are not looking for betterment. I want you to use the word. We're not looking for betterment. The repairs cited on the estimate are simply to put it back the way it was. And if anything, it's reducing the value of the vehicle, but we're not messing with that. So those are the key elements. Okay? And maybe they're saying that's what the car. No, they can't. The 2010 Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I
that
think
they're totaling
close.
it out.
I think it's darn close to being totaled.
So do you think that what is a 2010 Nissan Sentra worth? How many miles on it?
I would say probably about 130.
I'm wondering if they're saying, you know what, that's a totaled car. You get to keep it, and we're going to pay you $1,600. I'm wondering if that's what's going on.
Okay.
I would still use the magic words. Remember, these are simply magic words, not legal. I would say, look, we are not looking for betterment. We are simply looking to put it back to the way it was. And if anything, the car's not going to be worth what it was. What guys? What are you finding?
I'm finding it right around $6,000.
That's what. Okay, $6,000
retail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, I think they should still pay for it. Call us back and let us know after you use those words, because they do have a registered agent here, and I truly believe that they're going to pay.
Okay.
Or you can mention, or we're going to small claims court as part of those magic words at the end. And then let us know. 303-713-8255. More after this. Say goodbye to 2023 with 23% off all Zero Res services. Zero Res, the only cleaning company I let in my home for carpets and ductwork. Why? Because they get it really clean. No soaps, no chemicals, no emulsifiers, safe for kids and pets. This company has done a wonderful job for me in the past years, and I'm looking forward to 2024. 23% off. Call now, 303-471-5150. That's ZeroResDenver.com. They use purified, soft water that gets your carpets really clean. And they use less water, they dry faster, and stay clean longer. They also do ductwork, tile and grout, mattresses, and upholstery. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150. Get Zerofied now. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com.
Replacement doors and replacement windows done right. Hi, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right. Does the entrance to your home show the pride you feel about your home? Are those interior doors bright, clean, and easy to use, or not? Todd?
Dad, the entrance to a home is that first impression that makes us and our guests feel welcome. With a beautiful new front door by Provia and Done Right, updated hardware and possibly glass accents, you, your family, and your guests will feel more warm and welcome than ever. Those interior doors making you feel blah? We can help. With many material, style, and color options available, let us help continue that warm welcome into all the rooms of your home.
I couldn't agree more, Todd. Your mom and I just love our Provia entrance and those awesome updated doors throughout our home. Folks, give us a call, and don't forget to ask about our bank financing or significant cash discount. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and of course, replacement windows and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for the entire year. Don't go another year compromising because of pain in your knees or shoulder. Call QC Kinetics right now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body actually has what it needs to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics makes that happen without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. You know, the future of pain treatments is here now, and QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or injury. Now, this is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that gets you moving again. So get your life back. And remember, it's non-surgical. Make this the year that you fight back against that pain. Take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics and get your free consultation on the calendar today. 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Paid actor portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
When it comes to selecting a real estate broker, accept no excuses. That's why I endorse this man.
We aggressively go to work for you. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just results.
Frank Duran with RE/MAX Alliance.
You get my team's full support, but I personally negotiate the sale for you when you list your home with me. I'm with you every step of the way.
Go to Frank's website for tips on buying and selling. Frank Duran, the real estate man. TrajanWealth.com or call 303-920-1622.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Denver area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 303-221-DADS. CordellCordell.com.
I love honest and experienced auto repairs. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, recommending Ray and his team at RKC Automotive. 25 years strong, domestic and imports, old or new, major engine work, transmissions, brakes, electrics, big and small, they do it all on Evans, just west of Tejon on the south side. RKC Automotive, 720-749-3965. Open Saturdays too, 720-749-3965.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Light snow showers to start off your Friday morning, then it'll be mostly cloudy with seasonal temperatures today in the mid-40s. Big warm-up for the weekend, 50s and 60s by the early part of next week. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of actor George O'Brien and his service to this country in World War II. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-8255. So if that car on Amazon, not on Amazon, the one Amazon backed into or ran into is worth $3,000 and repairs are, I don't know, whatever. Rodney asked a question. He said, what if repairs exceed 50% or 75%? What's the limit? And before you have to accept a total. And the point I'm making is this. There is no limit when you have somebody else's insurance company. Now, you don't have a contract with someone else's insurance company. So if they hit your car and say, well, those repairs are 50% of that vehicle, so we're just going to total the car out. You can make them fix the car so long as the repairs don't exceed the value of the car. Even if the repairs are 100% of the value of the car, you can demand it. What you can't demand is more than the car's worth. Remember that. So if that Nissan is worth, or the one that was hit is worth $3,000, he's owed $3,000 if that car is no longer any good. He's owed $3,000. Now they're going to claim, well, if we pay you the $3,000, you don't get to keep the salvage. We get to keep it. And if you want to keep the salvage, we're going to subtract from the $3,000. And that's where it gets tricky. Because when a car gets really, really old, the salvage value gets so close to the actual value that you end up getting nothing. And I know that sounds queer, but listen to this. We had a guy minding his own business with his old truck parked outside his house. Somebody ran into his truck and totaled it. It was only worth about, I don't know, $1,200 or so. Maybe a little less. They wouldn't repair it. He didn't want the money because he needed that truck and he could fix it. So they said to him, well, in that case, if you want to keep the truck, you can keep it, but we're not giving you any money. It's as if they knocked at his door and said, by the way, we hit your truck. Good news. You get to keep it. He didn't get a dime. I know it sounds crazy, but as older vehicles get, it's where the total value of a car comes close to its salvage value. Now, that happens really with old cars, but it can happen. Mike's got a question on class action suits. Mike, go ahead. What's going on with you, Mike?
Yeah, Tom, as a consumer advocate over the years, haven't you filed or participated in class action lawsuits?
I have, and I have done nothing about it. I've just observed and collected. However, and every once in a while, by the way, I get a check that shows up that says you were part of a class. Now, have we initiated class actions? This show has initiated I wouldn't say class actions, but fodder and fuel that resulted in class actions.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that maybe this fodder and fuel will generate a class action.
Well, okay, now a lot of people misunderstand what class actions do, but go ahead and tell me about it. Let's talk about it. We do have attorneys that are quite adept at doing class actions.
Okay. This is in regards to the White House halting enormous natural gas projects in victory for environmentalists. So that's the headline on Fox. As a consumer of natural gas in my home and every other citizen listening to your program for the most part, you know, when we have something like that happen by a president and it's a commodity, it affects the value of that commodity. It raises the cost.
That's right.
Value,
You're right.
Or it lowers it.
But the president is immune from civil liability.
Well, as a commodity,
unless he's Donald Trump. But go ahead.
Trading.
What's that?
I guess the question is, would that not be considered insider trading? Because those that know that they're going to get this executive order to pass have the ability to bet in favor of that
Well,
executive
of course.
order.
Hold on now. Now there's two separate things. The first one is the executive order that halted gas, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Which then raised the price of the existing commodity, right?
Correct.
Okay, now hold on. Now, that is, you're asking, does a president for doing that have civil liability? No. Now,
I'm not necessarily pointing the finger at the president. I'm just claiming.
No. Then you said, I heard exactly what you said. Then after that, you said, isn't that inside trading? Well, that's not. What is that? What is that? You said, isn't that inside trading?
Yeah, there was a two-part question. First part, the class action is as a consumer of natural gas and him being able to do an executive order.
Well, who do you sue as a consumer of natural gas? Who do you sue for the price of that natural gas going up and making your heating bills way more? Who do you sue?
I'm hoping that the lawsuit would stop the ability for a president to do.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. Who do you sue is the question. Every lawsuit has to have a plaintiff and a defendant.
The federal government, I guess. I mean,
okay, that's what I'm telling you. The government is immune from civil prosecution unless you're Donald Trump.
Well, okay. So how do we protect ourselves as consumers? And
here's what you would do. If you could find, and I'm just half joking about the Trump thing. The thing about Trump, the reason they're going beyond the office is they're saying, I don't want to get into it, but here's the thing that could indict Biden, okay, if he ever had liability after he gets out of office. If you could show that Biden has some buddies or family members or close associates that hold gas securities or stock or whatever, or royalties interest, okay? And you can show that he wanted to benefit them and took this action for that, that would definitely be actionable. But that didn't happen, okay? Biden didn't do it to enriching people, I don't think. I think he did it to satisfy his environmentalists. He is so afraid of displeasing his real strength that he has to cater to the people that put him there. That's what I think happened. Now, as far as insider trading, if you had other individuals that knew the president, let's say people on the president's staff leaked it to other people who leaked it to other people, and make no mistake, it happens every single day, from every board meeting to every government action to every judge's clerk. When they know something's coming down, they leak the information. And if people trade on that leaked inside information and it can be proven, it is a crime. However, it happens every single day. Now, let's say you could find a couple people, billionaires, that did insider trading, okay? You can't sue them for your losses because that didn't cause the executive order. They simply got rich off of something. That's up to the SEC to prosecute them for insider trading, but it does you no good. So whether you find a cheater who is inside trading or government officials trying to kowtow to environmentalists, those are not actionable in class actions. The only thing that would be actionable is corruption.
Okay.
You know, Mike, I understand why you're pissed off. I get it. But I'm going to tell you something. On a personal note, I'm really pissed off at this and the attack on gas. But
yeah. I mean, I guess.
That's on a personal level. But I have to be honest here, on full transparency. Many of my holdings are in gas and oil royalties. My gas royalties just doubled. No, and I'm not laughing, and I'm not happy. I'm not saying, "Oh, hey, big man, am I?" I'm a big man.
Question, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
My final question: If this was put to the vote of the people, it would remove that realm of executive order being able to profit.
Yeah, but executive orders, every single president does executive orders.
Yeah, but when it's a commodity, when it's a tradable product, it has different consequences.
No, I understand it does, but a tradable commodity, you're not complaining about. You're complaining about higher gas bills, right? I'm not, by the way, I'm not arguing with you. I think it's wrong that an executive order can have such sweeping consequences, but that's what elections are about. That's all I can say is there are several times executive orders do this. This is not the first time an executive order has cost people millions and millions of dollars. Do you remember when he first got into office? One of his first executive orders was to shut down the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
What happened to gas? Every single driver in the entire United States faced unbelievable gas bills. So what did he do? Did he get sued? No, because he wasn't doing it for corruption. He was doing it for the environmental lobby and to keep his people happy. But every one of us paid, you know how much that cost? That cost billions and billions and billions of dollars to consumers. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's his action. He had the right to do that. I mean, listen.
That's what I was hoping you could help me with. I was hoping as a consumer advocate, we could find a way to fix this instead of...
Well, you have to do what you have to do. You'd have to have Congress limit executive order privileges. But that would happen for both Democrat and Republican presidents. Frankly, the only time really, truly, and I'm more conservative than liberal, but I'm a little bit of both. But I will tell you this. The only time people complain about executive orders is when it goes against their policy for their party. When their party is in action, they don't mind executive orders, like when the president backed out of the Paris Accord for the environment. The climate accord. People loved it, but that was an executive order. I mean, so it depends on whose side you're on, whether you like executive orders or not. If you want to limit them in general because you think Congress should be taking these really serious actions where people can elect their representatives to do so or not do so, then you need Congress to limit the presidential powers. And I'm not even sure if that's legal or not. I'm not sure. I don't know the procedure. Maybe someone with more knowledge can help me understand the limitation of executive orders.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
As we get to the late morning commute, it's another easy drive throughout the Denver metro. The snow didn't really stick to the roads out there this morning. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through downtown. East of downtown into DIA, I-70 east and westbound flowing free. The same goes for 225 north and southbound through the Tech Center and Aurora. Up on the northwest end, Highway 36 east and westbound flowing free. Out west into the high country, you are going to see some slower speeds between Idaho Springs and Georgetown. Fox 31, pinpoint weather morning. Snow, of course. Hopefully, we'll see some of that melt throughout the day. High 44, overnight low of 24. The sun is back tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Do you have a remote cabin or want to live off-grid? Red Rocks Roof and Solar is the only company specializing in these special standalone systems with battery backups and auxiliary generators. With Red Rocks Solar, you get sales, installation, and service. Complete solar. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. Locally owned and operated by a veteran. Honesty and integrity. 303-704-2449. 704-2449. RedRocksRS.com.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs, don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KHOW. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Bigger is not always better. With car accidents, I don't want a giant firm where I'm just a number. That's why I use John Fuller as my accident lawyer on my radio show. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I know you don't want to be just a number either. So call John Fuller, and you'll notice the difference right away. John handles each and every case personally. You get his personal cell phone number and attention. Let my accident lawyer be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co for Colorado. myaccidentlawyer.co. Get free evaluation of your case, and if you choose Fuller Law, you only pay a small fee when you win. John believes each and every client is important, not just the giant cases. He knows you need answers, you need advice, you need action. Don't wait in line. myaccidentlawyer.co, where you're not just a number. 303-597-4500. 597-4500. myaccidentlawyer.co.
Hey, Broncos country, I'm Terrell Davis, and I'm here with Donnie, owner of the Fitness Gallery, and we have something important to share. It's a new year. It's time to work on a new you.
Save 20 to 40% off any True treadmill, elliptical, or exercise bike.
I have a True treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Everything in the store is on sale, up to 50% off.
You never regret buying quality. You always regret when you don't. That's why I made the smart move to invest in home fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. No more commuting to the gym. Now I work out with my family at home. Imagine this. No more wasting time in traffic. No more crowded gyms. With the right equipment at home, you can train like a pro whenever it suits you. And here's the touchdown play. Get your family involved. Visit Colorado's largest fitness store, Fitness Gallery, and get started on your goals today.
Fitness Gallery is Colorado owned and operated for over 25 years. Visit one of our 7 locations or go to fitnessgallery.com.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
The holidays put an extra strain on your electrical system, so get an inspection now for just $21 from Plumbline Electrical. You can trust Plumbline to fix flickering lights, outlets, switches, and even complete panels. They can add new outlets with USB, get rid of extra cords and chargers. Schedule online, plumlineservices.com. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. Service at home. Servants at heart. plumlineservices.com. Frank Duran, the real estate man with RE/MAX Alliance. He is a certified negotiation expert, and he knows how to aggressively market your home.
With our specialized marketing knowledge, we aggressively implement the most advanced, innovative, and proactive marketing plan you will find anywhere.
For all things real estate, do not hesitate to call 303-920-1622 or get tips online at frankdurantherealestateman.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. David, what's going on with you, man? David?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'd like to find out where I can get a battery replaced for an iPod Touch, 6th generation.
Okay. There are kiosks that do iPod repair, but I don't know if it goes back that old. The same people that do iPhones and regular phones and smartphones, many of them can do a battery replacement. Have you tried those like You Break, We Fix?
No, I was just looking to find out who would do that in northern Colorado.
Northern. How far north are you?
Fort Collins, Loveland.
There's got to be places that fix iPhones. Anywhere where they do smartphone repair, especially Apple, they usually will do iPods. But how old is that iPod literally? How old is it?
10 years.
Honest to God, you have a 10-year-old iPod?
Yeah.
How does it charge?
Fine, except the battery is expanded
Like, is it,
now.
what kind of interface is it?
USB.
A mini USB?
Just a regular Apple USB.
So listen, another place to consider on those things, Batteries Plus. They sometimes will tackle anything with a battery. Have you ever
contacted them? They don't touch Apple products.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Now,
Okay,
there
well,
are
I'll just look around on the internet. And
hold
find
on.
somebody that-
There are also, I was just going to tell you, call smartphone repair places, but there are also YouTube videos on how to do it yourself. And I'm assuming they're YouTube. Some of them could be Vimeo. I don't know. But I would go to the internet to see a do-it-yourself thing, and then you might be able to order them. I'm not even sure if you can still order those things. Are you searching there,
Yeah,
Jeff?
they've got them online. You can get them from, looks like Walmart, Amazon.
The batteries?
Yeah, and a lot of them come with the tools for you to do it. And they're cheap. They're under $20.
David, did you hear that online? You can use the mic, Dad. Just turn on the button there. You got to tell a helicopter pilot how to use a microphone. Go ahead.
I see there's a place up in Fort Collins called Cell Phone Repair. It says they do iPod repairs.
Okay, there's one right in your town, David. What's the name of it?
Cell Phone Repair.
David, right in Fort Collins, Cell Phone Repair says they do iPods.
Okay, I'll give them a call. Appreciate
All right, let us know how it goes. 303-713-8255. Deputy Doc, you have a follow-up. Now, Allie, let me talk about this. Allie had a plumber come, CNC Plumbing, replumbed her whole house with PEX, $4,400. She says there's a few problems she needs fixed, including a leak, and they just are ghosting her. What about it, Doc?
Well, he didn't ghost her. Her son answered the phone and said her dad was very sick. And for some reason, Allie didn't think that was true, so she called us to find out what's going on. I spoke to the owner. This guy is a stand-up guy, Tom. He's very sick. He did a whole bunch of extra work for her, didn't charge it, but he was very upset that Allie called our show. So his stance is he's going to fix everything that he did, but he put in some extra stuff, and he's not going to deal with that. Only the stuff that she contracted for. But he is going to take care of everything that Allie contracted for.
And your impression was this guy's a straight shooter.
Absolutely. He's, he did a whole bunch of stuff for her that she didn't pay for, that he did out of goodwill. And he was just a little upset that he called our show.
So anything that was done wrong or fix anything that went wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. He'll fix any issues. Okay. But not the extra stuff.
Well, there was one extra thing. Maybe he put in some kind of faucet, right, Allie?
I don't know. I don't have her here.
Okay, I thought she was on.
No.
Anyway,
I don't have her. But
Allie actually had to go to work.
Okay, she had to go to work. All right, well, we'll relay the message. And listen, that's what we do. We make calls. We get assessments. We have feelings, gut feelings, and that's why we do it. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it. 303-713-8255.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
As we get to the late morning commute, it's another easy drive throughout the Denver Metro. The snow didn't really stick to the roads out there this morning. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through downtown. East of downtown into DIA, I-70 east and westbound flowing free. The same goes for 225 north and southbound through the Tech Center and Aurora. Up on the northwest end, Highway 36 east and westbound flowing free. Out west in the high country, you're going to see some slower speeds between Idaho Springs and Georgetown. Fox 31, pinpoint weather morning. Snow, of course. Hopefully, we'll see some of that melt throughout the day. High 44, overnight low of 24. The sun is back tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
The Art of Granite will do your countertops, whether it's granite, quartz, any natural stone or man-made material, and give you prices on the phone. That is really the important part. Well, the important part is they do a great job wholesale on all materials, tear out and haul aways free, and he's been around for many, many years, and I've sent tons of customers to him. But what's really important, too, is that you can call and get a price on the phone, and you don't waste a lot of time. 303-386-5919, 386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Right now, people are looking for security in investments, and there are a couple ways to do it. You can have a retirement account and pull money out and put it in as a lump sum, something that doesn't depend on the stock market. You can put it in a guaranteed pension account, like a fixed indexed annuity. And listen to this. Please don't believe the people who say all annuities are bad. They're crazy. They're not all bad. You can have one that guarantees a rate of return, guarantees income, guarantees never to lose a dime of profit or of principal. Find out more. 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600.
Wrapping up the Roadie and Pullman. Hi, this is Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. Tomorrow, CU looks to conquer the Cougars of Wazoo. Coverage begins at 2:30 on KOA, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and on iHeartRadio.
Follow the sun in your new RV. Any shape, size, or price range at LazyDays.com. The RV Authority. Multiple locations nationwide for your convenience. Warranty work, repairs, maintenance, and service, including the new Century RV of Denver at Longmont, formerly Century RV, at I-25 and exit 240, south a half mile on Frontage Road. Largest selection of new and used RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and motorhomes, plus high-tech maintenance facilities. LazyDays.com. LazyDays.com.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy Hansford. Troy sells more houses for more money than anyone in Denver. And his secret is a unique marketing system that's proven to get his clients the most money. Troy is so confident in his system that he will make you this guarantee. He'll sell your house at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. Now, here's how it works. You just meet with Troy, you agree on a price and a timeline, and if he can't get you that price, he'll pay you $5,000 guaranteed. Troy Hansford, he spends tens of thousands on marketing to generate demand for your home. Troy has hundreds of approved home buyers looking for houses, and they might be a buyer for your home right now. So give Troy a call at 720-900-4433. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in 7 days. So call Troy Hansford. Get more money at 720-900-4433. 720-900-4433.
Troy Hansford, RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
There's so much hail damage around, so many ripoffs, shoddy work, disappearing with down payments. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I feel compelled to recommend Genesis Total Exteriors to honestly repair all of your storm damage, from roofing, gutters, siding, windows, decks, and more. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. They can do it all on one invoice, one point of contact. Mark Szymanski. I've known him for more than 20 years. 303-679-8509. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Say goodbye to 2023 with 23% off all Zero Res services. Zero Res, the only cleaning company I let in my home for carpets and ductwork. Why? Because they get it really clean. No soaps, no chemicals, no emulsifiers, safe for kids and pets. This company has done a wonderful job for me in the past years, and I'm looking forward to 2024. 23% off. Call now, 303-471-5150. That's ZeroResDenver.com. They use purified, soft water that gets your carpets really clean. And they use less water, they dry faster, and stay clean longer. They also do ductwork, tile and grout, mattresses, and upholstery. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150. Get Zerofied now. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com.
For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Done right. Bank financing or significant cash discounts. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. DRHI.com or 800-362-8370.
Wrapping up the Rhodey and Pullman. Hi, this is Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. Tomorrow, CU looks to conquer the Cougars of Wazoo. Coverage begins at 2:30 on KOA, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and on iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Ideal Home Loans still doing home loans. Remember, the only ones with the interest rate guarantee. So if you're buying a house and you need a loan, idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000. All right, so what's going on with AAA Insurance, Bob? What's happening? Welcome.
Well, I've been with it AAA a number of years, and their rates got out of line, so I switched last year. I came back at the end of the year and shopped the policies, and they had them back down, so I went with them. And
who did you go with? With AAA. You stayed with AAA again?
Yeah, I went back to them. I was very happy with the service. Policy started January 1st. I got an email that said, you need to download our Smart Track app and start using it so you keep your discount. And I'm thinking, okay, fine. I've had that before. So I downloaded the app. And what I found out is it tracks me all the time. I went skiing yesterday, and it tracked my ski runs. Then you have to go into the app and tell them that, no, I was not driving my car up at Breckenridge.
Wait a minute. So they thought you were driving your car down a mountain?
Well, no. The app, you have to go in and tell the app and tell them, no, I was skiing.
Well, hold on.
Or if you go
if you don't, let me put it to you this way. If you don't tell the app, does it assume you were driving down that mountain?
Yes.
So if I go flying in my helicopter, it will assume I'm flying my car.
Yes. That
sounds hard to believe. Okay, so then what?
Well, the thing was, on my application, that discount is a 10% discount. It's $164, not a big deal. But it wasn't mentioned on my application. but I look and
I'll bet you when you installed it, it was in the stuff where you say accept.
Oh, I'm sure it was probably in the paperwork someplace.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, they all are.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, here's your electronic signature. But I've been talking to AAA, and one of the things I've always liked about it is you get real people, and they're very well trained, but they're not going to do anything about it.
Well, what do you want? No, I'm asking you, what do you want them to do about it?
I'd like them to keep my premium the same and I keep my discount because it was their fault because it was never, ever mentioned to me.
It is mentioned to you.
Told me the policy.
It is
It was in the policy, right?
No, it's not. I don't know if it does tell you in the policy. I don't know that. But so you want this, you want the discount for having the app, but you don't want the app.
Right, because it was never told.
I can't do that for. I mean, I can't do that. I'm not going to change the way they do it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to. They're not going to. Just get another company. But what I hear let me just put it to you this way: a lot of insurance companies are now going to app tracking. They're not the only ones. But what I don't understand is how they can't discern between your car and your helicopter or your boat or your skis.
Well, Tom, that's the thing. I mean, I've had it before. I don't have a problem. I'm a pretty good driver. You know, we all have our moments, but it's this entire thing.
So tell me something. If you did not tell it what you're doing, when you say tell it, what do you have to tell it exactly? Like every time you're going to be doing something, every time you get out of your car?
Every time you stop your car and get out of your car, it's a trip, and you do something else, and that's considered a trip, and you have to go in and tell the app you have 24 hours what you were doing. That's the thing.
What a pain in the ass that is.
Well, I know. Let's talk about being intrusive.
I mean, you have to, every time you get out of your car, you have to tell them what you're doing.
You've got 24 hours to do it. So you've got to sit down and say maybe every night and tell them.
But only if what? Like when you go grocery shopping?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I mean, Bob, no. There's something. No. That's impossible.
Well, no.
Is it on the phone or is it on the car?
It's on the phone. It's on the phone, right?
Yeah, it's on the phone. It's got all my ski runs from Breckenridge yesterday on it.
And you have to tell it that wasn't your car doing those runs.
Yeah, I got to tell them I was skiing.
Now, tell me if you didn't tell them that. What they would assume that you were dangerously driving?
I don't know what they would do. I just started using the app, and I'm just trying to. I mean, this is a little bit above and beyond, don't you think? As far as
but I don't think. Yeah, but Bob, that's what you call. Thank God we still have it. Free enterprise, meaning you drop them and go somewhere else.
Yeah, which I'll probably. I don't know. I've always been happy with them. I just changed.
I would never have that ever if that's what you're telling me. But I want to get Compass Insurance on to find out about these apps. I find it impossible that you would have to go on your app every single night and tell them why you got out of your car so they don't count those movements against you. That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. Kelly, I want to get Compass Insurance Group on to talk about apps.
Everyone envisions a life of zero debt in a paid-off home. Unfortunately, very few get to realize that dream as they're burdened with 30 years of mortgage debt. Luckily, there's now a better way. Life Changer loan clients are experiencing the American dream by getting their house and all their debts paid off in less than 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. The future of banking and mortgage are here. It's not magic, it's just math. LifeChangerLoan.com. That's LifeChangerLoan.com.
Life Changer Loan Corp is a licensed Colorado mortgage company. NMLS 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
Electric rates are going up, up, up. You need Red Rock's Roof and Solar. They do it all, sales, installation, and service. And because they do roofs too, they got you covered. Locally owned, veteran owned, more than 35 years combined experience. The only company to guarantee an activation date or they pay you for lost energy. Battery backups, auxiliary generators. 303-704-2449. 704-2449. RedRocksRS.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. An iHeartRadio station. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Alabama, for the first time, using nitrogen gas to execute a death row inmate. And while witnesses say Kenneth Smith lurched back and forth for several minutes in apparent pain as the oxygen in his face mask was replaced by nitrogen, Alabama says the execution was a success and is offering consulting services. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Alabama has done it, and now so can you. And we stand ready to assist you in implementing this method in your state.
The International Court of Justice demanding Israel take steps to prevent acts considered genocide against Palestinians, but says South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Nalindi Pandor.
I would have wanted a ceasefire.
The court stopped short of that in its preliminary ruling. Inflation cooled again in December. Today's government report showing prices rose just 0.2% from November to December. That's back to pre-pandemic levels. This is ABC News. Weeks after a private company's failed attempt to put a spacecraft on the moon, NASA is celebrating the unqualified success of another project millions of miles away from the lunar surface.
It was July 2020.
And liftoff.
The little helicopter called Ingenuity was launched into space along with the Perseverance rover. 6 months later, video of Ingenuity flying around the Martian surface. 3.5 years in,
What started as a technology demonstration with plans for only up to 5 flights has now completed a remarkable 72 flights on Mars.
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson says Ingenuity broke a rotor and has now finally flown its last mission. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A lawmaker in California wants drivers to slow down. A new bill would require new vehicles in the state be equipped with special technology called speed governors, making it impossible to drive more than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. If approved, the plan would take effect with the 2027 model year. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 12:03.
An increase in violence against healthcare workers is the subject of a bill moving through the Colorado legislature. Representative Eliza Hamrick, one of the bill's sponsors, says healthcare workers will be part of the process in developing violence prevention efforts.
The best people that know how to have the safest work environment are the workers. And so what this plan does is it puts them right into the committees and the facilities must listen to their committee plan and put it into action.
Hamrick says a similar bill was passed in California, which has resulted in a 40% decrease in violence against healthcare workers. There's a new timeline for tearing down a Penrose funeral home where 190 bodies were found 3 months ago. Demolition was supposed to start last week along the side of Highway 15, but has now been pushed to the end of February. It will take 10 days. As for the owners, a judge has ruled there is enough evidence against Carrie Halford for a trial. A decision on John Halford is expected in 2 weeks. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, home of the Money Today guarantee.
Another easy midday drive throughout the Denver Metro as we hit that Friday commute, I-25 north and southbound, showing highway speeds through the metro area as well as up north to Fort Collins and down south to Colorado Springs. Back to town on the northeast end, nothing out of the ordinary here. I-270 westbound, some brief delays between I-70 and Vasquez. Heading out west into the high country, I-70 westbound, you're going to see slower speeds through wintry road conditions through Idaho Springs. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. The scattered snow showers are over. High 44 today. Hopefully seeing some of that snow melt off. Overnight low of 24. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with a high of 49. The current temperature in Denver is 37 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Can't wait weeks for your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at jacksonhewitt.com. No-fee refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are making you feel alone, the Raleigh House is here for you. With 2 locations in Denver, our team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care, offering both inpatient and outpatient services. The Raleigh House can meet you where you're at. Our substance abuse and mental health services at the Raleigh House can provide a place where you can reconnect, find your purpose, and heal. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House, 720-797-8717.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Inflation?
Yeah, I still hate it.
Inflation Salvation.
Save me with some cash.
Oh my God.
Keep listening every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your chance to win $1,000. Just listen for the hourly keyword, then enter it at khow.com. Sponsored by Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis. When you're in a wreck, call the attorneys I trust at Lerner & Rowe. The consultation is free, and they don't charge you a penny until they settle your case.
Call Lerner & Rowe. Those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off. Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We have a comment on driving apps because we've been talking about driving apps. What happened is a guy says he got AAA auto insurance, and he was required to download an app to get a discount. He downloaded the app, and he claims that the app is tracking him all the time, which is most apps do as far as driving apps. And because it's on his smartphone, it also tracks him when he's doing movements outside of the car. He said if he goes skiing, it will assume he's driving his car down the ski slope. If he's out on a boat, it will assume his car is out in the water. And if he's flying an airplane, they're going to say he's going at excessive speeds. He says it's up to him to log on every night and explain what he was doing outside of the car so those movements don't count against him. I don't believe it. I'm not familiar with it, but I don't believe it. Eric's got a comment on that. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, I have the same deal with Allstate, and about once a week I go in and clean up the app. And, yeah, it detects and records it if you're above a certain speed, and I'm not sure what the speed is, but when you go in there, it gives you the option of selecting, I wasn't driving, I was a passenger, or I was in a plane, I was in a train, I was on a bicycle, something like that. It sucks for somebody like me who's a truck driver. And
Eric, if you don't do that, if you do not go in and clean up the app, what happens?
Honestly, I don't know that it makes all that much of a difference because, I still get my discount, through the app at every renewal. And I can't remember the last time I went in and cleaned up the app.
It has to have some intuitiveness to it, for God's sakes.
I believe it does. I think but at the same time, they do recommend that you clean them up every so often. so that I guess kind of like the machine learning of it, because it used to give me the option to say that I was driving a work vehicle versus my personal vehicle, and it no longer does that. It just gives me the option of saying I was a passenger versus I was a driver. So, like
I never even thought of that part. If you're a passenger and somebody's driving recklessly, they count it against you?
Yep. And the thing is like for me, I don't like it tracking me at work. And so I have a choice. I can either log out of the app or I just go in and clean it up. Every so often I'll go in and delete the stuff that where I'm driving at work. I'll switch it to, I was a passenger. And then this way it doesn't
Why
count.
did they stop putting the driving apps or trackers on the data ports?
I think probably cost.
All right. Thank you. Rebecca, you have a comment. Go ahead, Rebecca. Thank you, Eric. Rebecca.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, can you hear me?
I sure can.
It is 100% true. I have Progressive. I have the same thing. The crazy thing is my husband and I both have it. So if we're together driving in the car, one of us, well, if you're driving really good and nothing happens, you can both take credit for the drive. If you want to tell them that one of you is not driving, you have to go on the app and let them know, hey, I'm not driving.
You mean to tell me
it's crazy.
That, oh my God, so there's no intuitiveness at all?
Correct. The only thing that I wanted to add was Progressive did give me the choice to have the one that plugs in, under your dash.
Yeah.
Instead.
That's the only accurate one.
And quite frankly, we were talking about that off air too. That can actually cause vehicle malfunctions. Anytime you plug anything in there, it's not supposed to be there. And the insurance apps are actually one of the worst.
And if you don't drive enough and they don't get enough data, they just keep going on and on. But once they get enough data, it says that they stop. I haven't reached that yet, apparently.
What about on a bus or a train?
You have to say, I was not driving.
Come on, man. Okay, then what about if you were driving recklessly and you suddenly realized you were, just go in and say you weren't driving?
Exactly. There's so many ways around it. The other thing you can do is it likes to track if you drive during certain times of the day. Well, if you do, shut your phone off, and they have no idea what you were doing.
I guess you're right about that part. Just turn your phone off. This is ridiculous. I guess so. If you're going skiing, well, no one wants it. Or you have two phones. You have one that can't spy on you and one that you keep in the car.
Exactly. It's crazy. If they don't have enough data by the time I renew, I'm just going to delete the app.
We're trying to get a hold of Compass Insurance about this to see if this is a trend. Wow. I'm being told they're unavailable. Maybe we're going to try to get them on, though. Gosh. I'm going to text them off the air.
Hang on, I got him. Hold on.
Okay, good. Is he who? What line? I'll take it right now.
Jeremy on 6.
Jeremy on 6. Hey, Jeremy, I'm hearing some troubling phone calls that I can hardly believe. There is a trend in the insurance industry to track driving for discounts. I don't mind that. They used to give you a data port module. You put in your data port, and it tracks when you use your car. Now they're doing phone apps. People tell me, and I swear more than one told me, plus texting, they tell me that on the app, if you get out of your car and go skiing, they think you're driving your car down a mountain. If you get out of your car and fly a helicopter, they think you're speeding through the city. If you get on a bus or train, or if you're a passenger in a car and that guy's driving crazy, you get dinged for it. Now, come on, man. And it's up to you. They say you have to go on every night and make corrections.
Correct. You have to
go through the list of the registered drives, quote unquote.
Come on.
And delete.
Come on.
I know.
This is where we're going with all of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, some companies are a little bit better on it than others, but yeah, that's kind of the feedback we've gotten too.
What? So which ones of your companies are doing it?
I think right now we have Progressive, Travelers, Safeco, and Nationwide, I think, are big companies that are doing it. And it's been an ever evolving kind of technology, right? We had the plug-in, like you mentioned, and there was pros and cons with that. And then they've gone more to the smartphones. And, a lot of people, there's two camps. There's people who get really frustrated with it and just don't want anything to do with it. And then there's others who are like, whatever it takes to get the rate down, it's not a big deal. There's probably less people in that camp, but there doesn't seem to be much of a middle. It's either people are really frustrated with it or a group that just won't do it, which is good too. But
I am shocked. I'm truly, honest to God, I am shocked. I mean, I am. And I mean, life is getting more intrusive. Do you know, Jeremy, that they're going to pass a law? This is what happens when you have lopsided government. They're going to pass a law as of 2026 vehicles. They're going to have speed governors. You can no longer speed. So what happens if I'm taking my kid to the hospital?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
that's for climate. That's for the Church of Climate Change, by the way. That's not for safety.
Right. Right. I think the thing I tell people from an insurance standpoint, I don't really push the telematics stuff much at all. There are people who are fine with it, and that's great. But, the feedback we have gotten it's not popular. And, everyone's going to be different on that. But I'm happy our companies give you the choice. I mean, there are some companies out there that it's automatic that you have to enroll in that program. And that kind of weird to me. If you want to do it and you're open to it, they're going to give you a discount, fine. But to force a company or to force the insureds to do it, seems a bit over the top. So I'm happy our companies aren't doing that.
Tom, how much of a discount do they give you?
10%.
It's
right?
10% to try it, and then depending on how good your driving is, it can, most of them advertise it could go up to 30. It can go down to 0 if you're a really bad driver. And now we're seeing some companies where it could actually be worse. So if I give you a quote for $1,200, you do the disc, or let's say $1,000, and you sign up for the telematics, it goes down to $900. They give you a 10% discount. But let's say you're a really bad driver, that data is really bad, it could actually go up over $1,000 now. So there are some companies where, it used to be, hey, if you're a bad driver, it's just going to go back to what the rate was if you didn't try it. Now we're seeing companies where they could actually use that data to charge you more than not trying it at all. And that obviously doesn't go over well.
I fear if I had it, they're going to send out a message, send help. There's going to be a text, lock them up. I don't know. Just,
yeah.
I mean, you get out of your car and come on, you would think there would be some intuitiveness to this. Some kind of link to a car, for God's sake, so you don't have to go in and tell it. But then, Jeremy, what's to prevent people from cheating? So if you did have to speed and you went crazy, you just go on and say, I wasn't driving, I was a passenger with some maniac.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I don't. That's a great question, and I have not gotten a good answer to it, because if that was a bad, drive, you can go in and just delete it. And I guess the thought process would be you have to have so many.
Or here's what I'll do. I'm going to buy a burner phone, put the app on it, and give it to a monk. I mean, what the hell? Or give it to an old lady. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. But it is amazing where our world is going. It is just amazing. Holy crap. We got more coming up.
I'm consumer advocate.
Too much. Just a little too much.
Is that did you know that?
I did not. I always thought it was always a plug-in. This is completely new.
I saw Flo advertise it, but I didn't know it was for that purpose.
I didn't know.
This news brought to you by
I like your idea with the Sisters of Loretta to drive around it.
I think you should find it.
Lazy Days RV is the RV authority at lazydays.com. You know, when you're an RV authority, that means you have great deals on new and used RVs. You give great deals on trade-ins. And all you have to do is go visit them. There are several in the Denver metro area, and they have a great service facility up north at I-25 and exit 240 in what used to be Century RV. Our friends are now Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont, and you can check them out at 303-453-1111. That's lazydays.com. TheArtOfGranite.com is the art of countertops, and what you can do is pick the countertop right for you, and they can do it, whether it's granite or any other stone or natural material or man-made material, and they give you prices on the phone because they got it down. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you have the kitchen done or a free kitchen sink, and they have wholesale on all countertop materials. Get your price on the phone. That's theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
Wonder how that would record if you're up in Minnesota and you drive out onto a lake to go ice fishing. Were you driving? Well, yes, I was.
Did you catch any fish? That's the real question.
I had a friend when OnStar first came out.
Honest to God, nothing fucking surprises me.
Not anymore.
And he had the phone feature on the OnStar and whatnot. And he was literally out on the lake ice fishing. Wow. And when his phone rang, he's like, he knew he could make outbound calls. He didn't realize that someone could come in.
Wow.
And he didn't even know the number. So he turns it on. He says, Mr. Lotney? Yes. Are you all right? Yeah. What?
Good afternoon.
Well, we were just doing a sweep for a stolen vehicle. We saw you were in the middle of the lake.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, it's locked up. I'm ice fishing.
Wow.
Yes, I can hear you.
That's wild.
Okay.
Nothing surprises you, but nothing's believable anymore. You got to do 3 and 4 checks. You know what I mean? It's getting so awkward.
All right, hang on for me.
Aliens showing up in Miami malls. Did you see that one?
Are we talking about aliens from space?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
You didn't see that one?
not the kind that came over the border.
No, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was actually a riot. There was a bunch of kids that broke out in this huge freaking fight, and then it was either later that night or the next day. Somebody had images that they had all over online. They saw an alien out there. It was causing all this commotion because people were freaking out. No, the people panicked, and that's what started all of the.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Ross. You too.
I don't understand Wi-Fi. YouTube here is 20 seconds behind.
At my house, it is too.
At my house, it's 1 second behind. Because I'm on it a lot at my house.
I don't know why. And also, so we're all seeing different pictures?
And you probably have Xfinity, right?
It sucks. So I got rid of all my Xfinity and Comcast, and I did CenturyLink high-speed fixed what you call it, IP. Because when we come back, I had to do that for my broadcasting during.
Now what starts with
That's a Quantum?
humanity.
Is it AT&T?
This is your chance to see
It's CenturyLink's best for that neighborhood. I really don't know if it's best.
Powerful and moving things I've seen in a long time.
But it's really stable. It's the most stable I've ever had in any kind of broadband. And I don't know if it's digital, to be honest with you. I just got it during COVID. Mark found it. I had it along with Comcast, and I had a modem that sensed each one. And listen to this, automatically went from one to the other, whichever is stronger, and if one went out, flipped to the other. That's during COVID. I had to do that because everyone was online, and it was spotty. Then after COVID, I got rid of the Comcast and kept the CenturyLink. But I don't have dual coverage now. But I had two different accounts. And what was it called? Whatever the modem was, you put them both into that one modem, and it switches. It's intuitive in it. It was flawless.
Really?
Now, did you have to run that as a business account or personal account since it's your home?
I do everything through the network, Troubleshooter network at that house, so they don't even question it. I mean, if you want to pay the corporate, they don't give a shit.
By stage name 5 for fighting.
Don't you do everything through your business anyway?
Not
right
everything.
on. No. You don't do your internet and broadband, all that shit.
I do it.
You can do it at home too. I mean, mine I especially can because I really do do it all.
We just find our speed fluctuate so much.
Fiduciary Advisors, TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, by the way, Compass Insurance Group says most insurance companies are going that way with these driving apps. And by the way, if you ever want to call them for an insurance checkup to make sure you're getting the best deal, it's 303-996-9000. They do an independent check of what you have and what you can get. 303-996-9000. So we have some comments. Now, listen, Larry, I know you got a car battery problem. I want to take a quick comment on this, on the driving app, and then I'll go back to you and then back to more comments on these driving apps. What we found out about these driving apps, I am shocked and also dismayed. Craig, go ahead.
Hey, Tom, if it comes down to where insurance companies will only give you insurance if you permit them, if you want to call it that, to put that on your phone, I'm going to quit driving. You know, if my good credit score and my good driving record is not good enough to get a good insurance rate, then screw it. I wouldn't get one of these apps if you paid me to do it.
Or maybe it's time someone wants to be competitive and they do insurance the right way. And I'm going to tell you the only right way. I've been preaching this on the radio, and someday an insurance executive is going to hear it and say this guy is right. The only way insurance should be done is according to actual risk. And here's what I mean. When you're driving, when you're in movement, when it comes to liability and when it comes to collision, that's the only time, not comp and the others, but there should be a way, and we have technology now, where your car should only be charged for when and how you drive, where you drive. I mean, honest to God, there are people that use their car very little and they pay a lot, and people who drive their car 10, 20, 50 times more and pay the same. Yet the risk for those driving only an hour a week is way less. And that's truly the way insurance should be done. Insurance by the hour. And I'm not kidding, by the way. Do you know how much money people could save? And then those who are on the road all the time should pay their fair share?
Well, Tom, that sounds too much like what they wanted to do with the gasoline tax.
Well, hold on. What do you mean by that with the gasoline tax? I'm not aware of what you're saying.
Okay, you're saying that the more you drive, you're more at risk because you're out there more, which that's logical, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you start talking like that, it's like what the state legislature proposed, that they weren't getting enough on gasoline tax because electric cars, of course, don't get charged a gasoline tax. Therefore, they wanted to charge people a gasoline tax based on the rate of miles you drive per year, which is what you're sounding like.
No, hold on now. Craig, if they truly took off all the taxes on gas and charged according to usage, I would have no problem with that.
Well, that hurts those of us that have to drive to work, not people that are working out of home.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. I understand that, but why here? I think you should go further than that. I mean, it's about time taxes be fairly borne by those who use it the most. I'm saying, what would be wrong? Gasoline does do that, except with electric vehicles now, they're not going to be able to do that fairly. So what about this? What if the weight of the vehicle and the amount of miles driven, it determines road taxes, but you have no taxes on fuel or electric for that? I mean, I don't see a problem, or with registration fees. I don't see a problem with that, because I'll bet you end up paying less than you do with the current situation. What I'm trying to do is spread the burden to where it should be spread. I mean, really, that's what.
But it already is. Gasoline tax is a consumption tax. The more you drive, the more gas you buy, and the more tax you pay. So where do you feel that it benefits anybody to pay based on mileage and not by consumption?
Okay, here with electric cars, that's the only time I think, I'm not saying maybe right this minute, but it does become unfair when electric cars are getting a free ride.
Well, no, they get charged some at registration each year.
I understand. I understand that, but again,
probably not enough.
I don't know if it. I don't know if it is, Craig. I'm not saying I want to overtax people. I say I want to even it out. I mean, there are people that have tons of cars on the road, and they're out with vans every day, 30 or 40 vans with their companies. Why shouldn't they pay more on road taxes? They're using them more than a middle class family who just goes back and forth to work and maybe to the supermarket. I mean, what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with behavioral type taxing if it's putting a burden on the system. What I don't want is them tracking behavior for behavioral reasons, like for climate change and for COVID and for that kind of stuff. I don't mind, though. I truly don't mind if I was charged by my insurance company for the amount of time I'm in my car. I've often said that, and again, this goes beyond what people care about, but if you have a boat or an airplane, and I know this is crazy, but listen carefully, you have to pay out the nose for insurance. And many of these guys that have these things might fly 1 or 2 hours a month. I think the only risk is when you're flying or when you're boating or when you're driving. And if truly insurance companies could charge for the actual risk, the cost for most of us would go down. I mean, it really would go down. Murray, go ahead. Murray. Are you there, Murray?
Oh, it's Larry, yeah.
Oh, Larry, I'm sorry. What's your comment, Larry?
Well, on my driving app, I have a device that attaches to the windshield. So it's activated only when...
Oh, cool. Wait a minute. So
car moves.
So the windshield talks to your smartphone.
That's correct.
Which one is that, Larry? That is amazing. Which one is that?
Well, that's State Farm.
That is amazing. So what does it look like? A little sticker on your windshield?
No, it's probably a 1/4 inch thick and 1 inch square. And it just on a two-sided adhesive tape, and you just attach it up along the top of your windshield out of your line of sight so it doesn't obtrude.
So if you go in another car as a passenger, and since they don't have that thing on their windshield, it's not going to talk to your phone.
That's correct.
Thank you, Larry. At least there's some brains out there. I mean, I didn't realize State Farm was doing that. Okay, Stephen, what is going, wait, not Stephen, Larry, another Larry with your car battery. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, this is Larry in Loveland. First thing, before I just tell you that quick thing that's gone on with me today, is I've been meaning to call you to give kudos to your referral list. I've used several, the best being Compass Insurance by far. Saved me 30% on 20 years of being with State Farm.
Wow.
Also, Excel Roofing. God, I couldn't give them, if there was more than 5 stars, I'd give it to them as well. Your list is fantastic.
Thank you.
So
I am so proud of my list. Thank you. Referrallist.com. So what's going on, Larry?
Well, here's what's happened today. I've got this 2014 Chevy Silverado. I've had it for 8 years. For the first time, I go out this morning, turn, and the battery's dead. Everything's dead. It just clicks. I was able to get it started. I've got one of those hand Nextpal powers, jumpered it right up, and it's run ever since. I drove it from Loveland down to Longmont today to the airport, and then I've driven back. Everything's been fine. I'm just curious if one of your experts knows what would cause a battery.
This has never happened before?
Never.
How old is the battery?
The battery is, it's probably at least 4 years old now, 4 or 5 years old.
Okay, so you jumped it to get started.
Yeah, I've got a little hand.
No, I get it. To get it started, or did you charge the battery?
Nope, didn't charge it at all. Just jumped it, started right up, and on my drive, and even now I'm sitting in it, I'm showing it's charging above 14, and I've stopped. All
right, so I guess that's a good question. Why? I mean, it's kind of like it's not acting up. It didn't do it again, but it could do. I guess I would wait to see if it does it again. What would you?
It will do it again. He's at the point. Yeah, it will do it again. The battery's weak and it's not holding a charge like it used to.
All right.
Once you fire it up, that alternator's charging it. Yeah, it can take that charge, and it, depending on how long it has to sit or what you've been running, it will eventually fail on them again. So you're due for a battery.
Bad news, Bear.
Let me ask you. I would understand that, but just I've never even had a bit of issues starting the car. It starts right up.
Yeah, but eventually that's what happens. Things go out.
Okay, so it is normal for a battery, just no sign of going out, just all of a sudden stops.
This is the signs of it going. That's what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, I know that it's hard to believe, but. And 4 or 5 years is right on that brink for a battery, right, guys? 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, we're a pretty harsh climate for batteries.
So I wouldn't worry about it. And like he says, that's how it happens, slowly like that. 303-713-TALK. Did I take the 30? I hope. Oh, my gosh, I'm late. What happened?
How can I know that it was going down? I never got any sign. It is the sign, dude.
That was a good comeback.
Does it ever go out without a sign? No, it doesn't. It doesn't go out without a sign.
I've never had to do it before. Yeah, well, my hand didn't hurt till it did. What's your point?
Right. After 5 years.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. That's Tom Martino.
Didn't want to talk to you either.
I think I might want to get one of those monster motherfuckers 75-inch TV for behind me when I'm doing my show. Just fill up the whole background.
They're cheap now. I was so
God almighty. You go to Costco, they almost pay you to take it out.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies is having a Retirement Freedom Summit February 8th at 6. Now, just please save the date, and I'll be telling you more, and I'll tell you how to get more information. Delta Event Center in Thornton. It's well worth the drive no matter where you're coming from. We're going to go over every aspect of retirement, income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy. And here's what I want you to know. We're going to have experts there to answer all of your questions. I'm going to be there, and I will disclose to you everything I'm doing. I'm an open book. I want people to be prepared for retirement, and I want you to be prepared. You can call RP Center anytime before that if you'd like, and they'll go over your retirement plan. There's no charge to go over things as many times as you want to meet until you feel confident.
You can't stop me.
And then all of their prices are built in. They're nominal compared to what they save you and earn you. They're a sponsor of this show, but I also use them. Please join me February 8th at 6 p.m. Listen, this is not an eye-rolling, long event. This is going to be very short presentations, mostly discussions with you. 970-663-3211. Go and find out more at rpcenter.com. That's rpcenter.com.
All right. Hang on for me, Eric, and he'll be right with you, okay? Hold on. All right, Stephen, hang on for me. We're going to come to you right after the break, okay? Uh-huh. All right, Ed, hang on for me. We're going to come to you as soon as possible, okay? Uh-huh. At least you close your top so I don't have to freak out. He literally came in here, did his thing, left the top open like 4 times.
Why do you
And then I had to come over, close it.
Fucking country is going in the direction it is with control.
Oh.
Why? Is it Democrats? I mean, what is going on? Why is everything being controlled? Everything.
I think technology is getting so strong that they can implement these things so easily without paying a high cost, because before you had to pay a lot of money to get these simple things that are now being implemented.
Is your name Dana? Daryl? What's your name?
Dale.
Dale. I'm just trying to put your real name in here instead of what I have.
But I go by Dak.
Oh, do you?
Well, that's my initials.
What's your last name?
Canino.
Are you Italian?
100%.
K-A-N?
C-A-N-I-N-O.
C-A-N. Of course it is.
Like the Chevy with ends, though.
Canino?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I have you here.
When you, over there in Bonnie Bray, did you see that sign that used to be that Italian place that says Jim Santos? They took the main sign down and it says Jim Santos on it now.
Where?
At University in Bonnie Bray.
University, and I know where you're talking about, but I don't see this. Where's
it used to be as
the only Italian place that used to be over there was.
I'm thinking of it. The one that says if you don't like garlic, go home.
Yeah, I didn't like.
Or the bar across the street.
Well, the campus lounge is there.
Right next to the campus lounge, there's a sign there. The reason why I bring it up, they tore down the original sign and it says Jim Santos. I'll give you a little history. He brought pizza to Denver from New York.
Is he still there? Is that still there, that sign?
The sign's still there.
But the place isn't.
No.
Because then Bonnie Bray Pizza was right down on the left side.
Yeah, it was at the bar across the street.
Right.
Next to the library.
That's right. So what's your email?
For here, it's DAC.
Yeah. What do we have?
6:30 a.m.
Oh, do we have that?
Okay. At gmail.com.
But you'll get it from me personally.
Yeah.
You check it is what I mean.
Oh, all the time.
Good. I just needed to put that in there because all I was doing is guessing it was you. Okay.
But that Jim Santos was the dad of the Three Sons restaurant. That's another famous Italian restaurant.
Did you say you grew up here?
In North Denver. Right by Lakeside Amusement Park.
Oh, okay. That was the hangout as a kid.
Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Keelan Park will also be there at the Retirement Summit. Keelan Park at the Retirement Summit. Keelan Park does estate planning, wills, trusts, probate. It'll be a great time to sit down and talk to them. They do free reviews of everything and then come up with flat rate pricing. And that's Keel and Park, lawkp.com, lawkp.com. We have a lot of comments now on insurance, guys. We have really hit a nerve. These new driving apps on your smartphone track how you drive, and in fact, they track you all the time. So if you're with someone else and a passenger in a car, there are apps that don't know the difference, and they will charge you or keep track of someone else's driving and attribute it to you if you're sitting there as a passenger. Now, Steve, you have a comment. Go ahead, Steven.
Hi, Tom. I have a comment on these insurance problems. Mayor said they're going to have about 100 plate readers in the town. I wonder if they could...
What readers?
License plate readers.
Oh, license plate. Yeah, the cams.
For stolen cars. I wonder if they could do the same thing with the uninsured motors, which I think they should.
Well, what are you proposing? That they run the numbers to see if it matches with insurance?
No, if they don't have insurance. I used to live in New York.
Well, I understand, but how would a license plate reader, tell me how that system would work?
Well, your insurance paper have a license number on the policy. So you're proposing that law enforcement monitors license plates and checks to see if they have insurance. Yes, because you don't have insurance. That's against
and
the
if
law.
you don't have insurance, they send you a ticket.
Right.
I like that idea. I love that idea.
In New York, I couldn't get a license plate before I paid 3 months in advance, which is okay, but they don't give me a plate.
What do they require here to get plates? Proof of insurance, they call it.
Proof of insurance, yeah.
People can dummy that up all the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
easy to dummy up.
Well, I know at least at the kiosks that if you don't actually have insurance on it, it will recognize it and deny you.
At the kiosk?
At the kiosks.
Are the kiosks right at DMV?
No, you find them in King Supers and whatnot.
So now we can actually go and renew crap at King Supers and stuff?
There's certain locations, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other problem is you can get insurance and then cancel it after you get your plates.
Or also they have some insurance agency advertise pay by the month. So you pay 1 month and say goodbye. You got the paper.
Yeah, that's exactly what Dak was kind of saying there. Well, let's see what Ed has to say. Ed, you have a comment. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom, you know what? Everything you talk about insurance is absolutely right. It's just a plain scam. That's all I got to say.
Well, I don't think it's a scam as much as it is there's too much. Everyone pays for everything as opposed to, I think it should be more use-based. More risk-based.
Yeah, I believe so too. You know, every time I leave town for a month, what I do is I call my insurer and I put comprehensive on my car in the garage. And the last time I was gone, I think I saved $90.
Yeah, but sometimes when you do that with some policies, they short rate you. So
well, you know,
you don't get the best monthly rates because you're turning it on and off too much.
Well, I haven't noticed that at this point because of my provider. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
But listen, I think something has to be done with pricing of insurance. I think most people are paying too much because of few people. Well, one of the things is just we're paying too much because of the uninsured motorist. That's for sure. Eric, what is your comment? Go ahead.
Hey, Tom. So I agree but disagree with you based on risk. And here's why. How many miles would you say you drive a year on average?
Well, it used to be a lot more, but right now I'm right around 10 to 12.
Okay. When was your last moving violation?
Oh, many years ago, because I don't know. It's probably more than 5 years ago.
Okay. So my last moving violation was 2014. Since then, I've driven 1.4 million miles. Who do you think is higher risk, you or me?
Oh, I see. You're talking about violations versus amount driven. I would say
in terms of risk and experience.
I'm not talking about no. Maybe I used the wrong word. It's exposure. No matter what, those who are exposed more have higher risk. You're higher risk, whether you like it or not. I mean, you might manage it better, but you are. There's more exposure insuring you. Listen, here's what I'm saying. I'll come back, but if you're going to drive 1 million miles and I drive 12,000 miles, I don't care what you say or how safe you are. There is more exposure. That doesn't mean you don't surcharge for accidents. If I drive 12,000 miles and I have an accident and you drive 1 million and don't, well, sure, there should be benefit for that or a penalty for me.
Now, Impact.
I mean, no matter what, fucking risk is exposure. And a moving violation doesn't mean risk either.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
And his example is being experienced. He can manage the risk much better than somebody that does not have it.
A driving record should have a lot to do with it too. I believe in surcharging for accidents.
Hold on.
If they're your fault.
Right.
But I don't think you should surcharge the way they do. They surcharge based on ridiculous fucking amounts. I mean, you pay for 5 years for nothing, for a very small loss.
Or just being a certain age, because the risk is higher.
They better not. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah. No, they actually lower as you get older. If you're looking for safe, secure investments, I want to direct you to the Guaranteed Pension Account from becomethebanker.org. He's happy to talk to you about it. And what it really is a fixed indexed annuity. I'm just going to say it like it is, which is a good thing if you find the right one. And one thing Joe Chiano, certified financial planner, will do is find the right one for you. He's been doing it for more than 30 years. Safe and secure, never to lose, guaranteed in writing, principal or gain, guaranteed return, guaranteed bonuses, and guaranteed pension. 303-779-6600, 779-6600. Genesis Total Exteriors will put all of your storm damage on one invoice because they do it all, everything on the outside of your house. Look up, see the roof, the gutters, that soffit and fascia. The fascia is behind the gutter. The soffit's underneath. Then you have the siding. Some of it's stucco. They're stucco experts. Then you have windows and doors, railings, decks, porches, whatever you have, outbuildings, they do it all. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Hey, Keelan Park, I emphasize Keelan Park because I love the way they do retirement plans. Now, if you want to come to our summit on February 8th in Thornton, you can find out more with Keelan Park. Ask him about it, lawkp.com. But here's what I want to tell you about Keelan Park. They will look at your entire life free of charge and then come up with a retirement plan or an estate plan for wills, a trust, how to pass on your business or sell it, everything that you need. They'll do a flat rate for you. lawkp.com. lawkp.com. Yeah. No, listen, he's not like any of them. But listen, here, I wanted to ask you something. I was trying to keep my costs down. And for the first time in my life I can lease a car. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the reason I can is because I used to do 30,000 miles a year. Okay, just free. But if I can stay within 10 or 12,000 miles a year, I can do a decent lease with a pretty good payment.
Right.
I mean, really, right? And then turn them in every 3 years or whatever. But I have now, I've been paying cash, so I have a lump sum tied up in this car. And I've always heard that if you trade a car in on a lease, they steal the trade. It dissolves, it whispers away, because you're financing the depreciation, right? So they figure the depreciated rate, but if you actually take a trade, and let's say I get, I don't know, whatever I get out of my car, 70. Can that 70 literally reduce the cap cost where you do have a lower payment? Or is it always a fucking screw job when you trade a car in on a lease?
No, you can definitely do that. That's still real equity. A lot of dealership will.
They steal the trade. It's
the
a well-known thing. They steal the trade. I don't know how they do it, but they work it so your payment is really no different.
Unfortunately, most people don't care. That's the real. They don't understand lease. They're thinking your car goes back, but a lot of times the market goes up and your car is valued more. But people don't understand that concept.
So if I found a car and it was, let's just say, 150, and I put 50 on it, then they should, and the residual of the car is 70, then there should only be a finance of 30, right? I mean, really, technically, if I reduce the cap cost to 100 and then trade in 70, it should literally only be financing 30, as opposed to if I did it without. I mean, you're financing the depreciation, right? So on a $150,000 vehicle at best, let's say the residual 75. That's 50%, 75,000. Okay. Well, rather than financing 75,000, if I put 50 into a trade, I should be only financing 25,000.
Right. When you're purchasing, not when you're leasing.
When I say financing, I mean leasing the depreciation.
Yes.
But the depreciation I lease shouldn't be 75,000.
Grabbers in Colorado. Plus, it's unbelievable how much taxes we pay, but there is a way we could get lower taxes. And Twisted View is up on deck. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Mark's got a question on insurance, I think, in addition to a comment. Maybe go ahead, Mark. Welcome to the show.
Hi, I've got a '07 Chevy Duramax Silverado. It's a quad cab pickup, 4 doors. It's a long bed, and I carry full coverage insurance on that. This goes back to the conversation you were having about not being made whole with your insurance. If I were to get in an accident with that, at today's prices, that truck is probably $80,000.
Right.
There ain't no way I could.
You're going to get pennies.
Afford to.
That's right. You're going to get pennies on it. Right.
When do you stop? When is a good point to stop putting on full coverage?
Well, when you say full coverage, the only coverage you shouldn't have on an older vehicle like that is collision. But there are a lot of people that will argue that even collision on an old vehicle is cheap enough that if you're cash poor, you may as well keep it on there. There's no real magic date if that truck to replace is going to be a lot of money, because at least you'll get something. But I would say when the premiums start getting close to the value of the damn car, then you just do the math. We can discuss this.
Hey, Broncos Country, I'm Terrell Davis.
That's a good question, but it's hard. It's different for every vehicle and every situation. I used to say, don't ever put collision on. Okay, let's take a simple figure. On a $100,000 vehicle, if it depreciates 50%, you're only financing $50,000.
Right.
Okay. I know that's a bad term, but you're financing that. You're paying it. Okay. So that's a $100,000 car. You're leasing, and you're financing $50,000. Now, if you trade in a car worth $25,000,
Okay.
you should only be financing $25,000, not 50.
Right. Right.
But most leases don't do that. They don't subtract from, I don't know why, but they don't. When you figure it out, they don't fucking do it.
Right. Right.
Well, I don't know why. I mean, have you ever filled out a lease with a trade?
Well, it's really hard to do that on paper because you're talking about money that you're talking about first of all a car that you really don't own.
Well,
You're only talking about the equity that's potentially there, right? Because
no, a lease has it defined to the penny.
right.
I mean, I can
Are you
tell
talking about a
right now,
one-time?
If I buy a Mercedes for $125,000, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that it has a 50% residual value. No matter what I pay for it,
Right.
it's going to be worth 50%
Exactly.
of MSRP.
Right.
So
Okay.
if whatever MSRP, so it's going to be worth 70 at the end, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, whatever the cap cost is, and that 70, whatever that difference is what predicates your payment.
Right.
Good
You
afternoon.
should
Thanks
be
for
able
calling
to
the
buy down that
Troubleshooter Show.
payment by trading in equity
Mm-hmm.
on
If
your
you
car.
can hear me,
or
all I
just
hear is
cash.
static. Call me right back.
$50,000 down.
Right.
But it doesn't. They don't fucking do it. And I don't know why. They don't. They don't. They lower the cap cost and still have you pay full depreciation. They're crooks. They take your trade and just sell it.
Right.
They don't apply it.
Right.
I've never understood how they get away with it. How do they get away with it? I mean, if I have to finance 50 grand because that car is
Good
going to be
afternoon.
worth
Thanks for calling the
50
Troubleshooter
grand
Show.
less, and I pay in advance.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, but I think because you're really just buying down your monthly payment, not the equity.
But you're not buying down your monthly payment. Yes, you should be. That's my point exactly.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
look. It's so easy to figure it out.
Security.
$100,000 vehicle worth $50,000 at the end.
At the end of the lease, right.
What do you finance?
All right.
50 grand.
Hang on for me.
Right.
You're taking 50 grand plus a lease factor,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your monthly payment.
Right.
If it's 3 years, 5 years, well, that's 3 years. 3 years, 50% residual.
I follow you.
Okay, so if you're financing 50 grand, no matter what you put down, you're still financing 50 grand.
Exactly.
Well, then that's the most stupid fucking thing in the entire fucking world. How can that be? How can that be? That no matter how much you put down, you still have to finance 50 grand. Where's that money going? Where's it going?
But if the residual is 50,000, that's how much you're financing. Am I missing something here?
Do you know how a lease works? I mean, I don't mean to.
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay, well, the way it works is you're not financing the residual. You're financing the depreciation. The depreciation plus residual equals MSRP.
Right.
Okay.
After the 3 years is over with,
That's right.
that is what you're financing if you decide you want to buy that out.
Well, I'm not talking about buying it out. I'm talking about leasing it. I'm not talking about buying
You're talking about a lease.
I'm not talking at the end of the lease. I'm talking right now. If I walk into a dealership and there is a Mercedes worth 100 grand right now,
Right.
and I want to lease it for 3 years, I have to make payments on 50 grand. Not on the residual, but on what I will be using. Okay? I have to make payments on
I understand
50
that.
grand. At the end, it's worth 50 grand. If I live by the terms of the lease, right?
Right.
If I put down $25,000, they still charge me payments on 50 grand. How is that low?
Oh, you're on a lease. You're buying down your payment. But you're not touching the equity. So
I never said you are touching the equity, Rod. That's the whole
something
point.
we're missing each other here. That I'm not sure.
So are you saying you should only?
Do you understand?
I'm catching. I understand it completely what you're saying.
Okay. Do you understand? I mean, Rob, you never touch the residual on a lease. That residual is there when you turn the car in. Okay? You either pay that residual and keep the car, or you turn it back.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Okay. The only thing you're paying on is the depreciation.
Right.
How the amount it will depreciate. If a car will depreciate $50,000 over 3 years, you have to make payments to make up that 50,000 because that's what you're using. By logic, if I'm financing that 50 grand, that depreciation, if I put down 25,000, I should only be financing 25,000. Take the 50 and minus 25.
I understand that. Perfect.
That's not what they do. That's not what they do.
Because they're in the business of making money.
No.
Well, where does the money go? He says you buy down your payment.
You're buying down. Here's an example. Here's an example. If you came to the dealership and you said, "Hey, I want to do a one-time lease payment based on that amount,"
now that would be different.
That's the same thing.
Okay,
So
but they don't offer that to you. So theoretically, I should be able to take a new car worth about $150 and put my car down as a one-time payment.
Right.
And not have a payment
For the whole 3 years, it's a one-time lease payment.
If you do that, you're the only one I ever heard of that does that.
Oh well.
Have you done that for people?
We have done that for people. It's called a one-time lease payment. You just pay that. So at the end of that, let's see, if you put $25,000 down, now your payments are based, instead of you doing a one-time, now your payments is based off of that. Yeah, the difference. So now it doesn't touch the reserve.
You're telling me that you actually subtract whatever I put down from the depreciation.
From your monthly payment, not your month from your lease payment, not your.
How do you subtract it from the monthly payment?
You're buying down your payments. That's what you're buying.
Divide it by 36 months.
Exactly. Just there, you divide it from whatever amount there is on that 36-month payment. So you take that. If you put down $1,000, you divide that from 36, and then that brings down your monthly payment. But the residual still stays the same.
No, of course it does.
Yeah.
That we know. Now, what other dealers must do, they evaluate.
Nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. 888heating.com is doing high-efficiency heating and air, and I urge you, if you're looking for a replacement system, you will save going in, and you will also save each and every month, sometimes up to 30%. 303-770-2776. A great company, and you can trust them. They also do plumbing and electric. That's 888heating.com, 303-770-2776. 888heating.com. Hey, I want to talk to Mark about insurance. We're talking to other people about this driving app. If you're just tuning in, there is a situation going on in the insurance industry that I personally find hard to believe. When you have insurance, some insurance companies are demanding that you put an app on your phone so they can track your driving, and they give you a 10% discount for using it, and then they adjust your rate according to your driving. You can actually be surcharged, but you can also save a ton. The problem is the app does not distinguish between when you're driving your car or when you're a passenger in a car or when you're in an airplane or a boat, a roller coaster, or skiing. You have to go in and make corrections to the app on a weekly or monthly or nightly basis so you don't get unfairly surcharged. Now, how ridiculous is that? Now, there are a couple of them that have started interfacing with a little puck you put on, like a plastic puck you put on your windshield. And that talks to your smartphone so you're not charged when you're out of the proximity of your car. But there's only one of those that I found out about. The rest of them are what you call stupid. So you have to go in and correct it. So we've been getting a lot of comments on that. You can comment as well. Do you have the app? If so, did you know if you're driving with someone, you're rated on how they're driving? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mark also brought up an insurance question, one we get a lot. When should you drop collision coverage? Well, here's how you do the math, Mark. Your particular truck, if you had to replace it, would be what, 80 grand?
Yeah.
No matter what, your collision coverage does not pay for replacement. So keep that in mind. So it doesn't matter how much the new truck's going to be. What matters is, can you get a truck like the one you're driving? So what you do is you go out and price the truck you're driving. How many miles on that truck?
240.
All right. Now, if you had to go out and buy that, what would it cost?
New?
Yeah.
Or
No, not new. No, not new. If you had to replace what you are driving.
Oh, I think it's got a blue book of around 12 or 13.
Okay. Now that's good. Now, let's say it's 12 grand. Now the question is, should you carry collision coverage? So you do the math. What would the premium be on, what are you paying for collision on that truck?
I don't know. The full coverage is about $600 a year, I think.
Yeah. I would say the collision part of that, do you have any idea? You need to know that. Let me give it to you this way. If the collision coverage on that is $50 a year, you should keep it, for God's sakes.
Right. Okay.
Even if only, because here's how you're going to do it. You're going to take whatever the car's worth, 12 grand, and you're going to divide it by the premium. So let's say the premium is $75 for that a month. That's $160. That means 160 of those payments equal the value of that truck. So you answer your own question. Is it worth paying 160th of the value each month to keep that alive, to replace it? If you're cash rich and you want to save the $75 a month, did he say a month or a year on that? A year. Oh, it's nothing. He's nothing. His insurance is the cheapest I've ever heard, for God's sakes. I would just keep it. But there is a way to do the math. And I used to recommend don't keep collision. It's a waste of money. But that's only when it's worth dirt, literally dirt. I mean, when we're talking under $5,000, under $4,000, why bother? You're going to be fought on the value anyway. You're going to have a tough time collecting. And most of the time, the collision will do it a favor. So I just don't think I'd worry about it. Sandy has a problem with Social Security. Hi, Sandy. What's going on? Okay. That happens every now and then. All right. 303-713-8255. We have open lines for the first time today. So let me go over some of the stuff we've talked about. The cheapest new cars. Now, what about not the cheapest new cars, but we could go the other end. The worst value on a new car. Now, notice I didn't say the worst new cars. Well, yeah, they kind of are. What would you say the worst value is in a new car? It would be a car that depreciates fast. That's value-wise. But what about service-wise? Unfortunately, a lot of new cars that appear to be luxury brands or wonderful brands or good brands turn out to be leak buckets and maintenance machines. Right, Jeff? We talked 100%. About this. It's scary.
Yeah, most of the like your German brands and whatnot, once they hit about 60,000 miles, dump them.
I hate hearing that because they're very expensive, beautiful cars. but they're not in it for the long run. So I want to ask you straight up. You're saying even one of the best, let's take a good car, a Mercedes sedan. You're saying they even start leaking at 50 or 60.
Leaking, and the repairs on them are terribly expensive.
Rodney, do you find you take in a lot of used cars? What do you think?
I think you're exactly right. When I go to the auction,
JFR Cars, by the way, is Rodney, and then Jeff Vick is Kimmer Transmission. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when I go to the auction, you'll notice that your Volvos, Mercedes, Audis are all right about 50 to 60,000 miles, and that's when the warranty expires, so people dump them.
Because it's so expensive.
It's expensive, so they don't want to do that maintenance. Because the maintenance ends, most of the warranty ends right at 50 and 60,000 miles, so they dump them.
Now, the other thing is, maintenance. Okay, what were you going to say, Jeff? Okay, so for example, I found out the hard way. Well, I'm not experiencing this right now, but I found out that the maintenance on these cars are ridiculous, and I'm gonna. I always attack the Range Rover because they're pieces of crap, and by far have the highest maintenance costs of all new cars, way before 50,000 miles. Okay, they're the most problem-ridden new car you can get. Range Rover, for some reason, has a die-hard clientele. People love them. But they're English, right? Are they English?
English cars.
Yeah, they're English.
Have the English ever built a good car? And I mean that sincerely.
Well, maintenance-wise, that's
Like
your field.
Wasn't the Jaguar an English car?
Yeah, the Jag
the
was
worst
high
you could,
maintenance.
The worst you could find.
Right.
Not anymore, but
yeah, Tata owns them now, so they cleaned up a lot.
Is that an Indian company?
Yeah.
Well, I don't put a lot of stock in Indian companies either, as far as cars.
Cleaned them up really nice.
They have. Ford really had a good car going, a Jag for a while, right? Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, though, as much as I get down on Range Rover, the problem with Range Rover is the problems start earlier. But really, I'm finding that BMW, I hear, will have the same problems, but just later on.
Most definitely. Almost all your European cars you can throw into that bucket.
But why? Now, but then this is where American cars, I hear, shine. That if you buy a good, let's take since we're talking expensive cars, a Cadillac upper end, like an Escalade or a good sedan, or you buy American cars, a Corvette or something like that, you're not going to have those problems.
You will still have them earlier compared to.
You'll have them?
Yeah, you will, but they're going to be less expensive and less frequent.
So are you saying you're not going to escape the leaks and the problems and the maintenance on any car?
Don't see the leaks so much. I mean, the example of the Corvette, I mean, I can't say as I've ever been in one that isn't a rattle bucket. Things just start coming apart in the things.
Yeah, the newer ones are way different. But you're right. You're right. The composite cars are very difficult to not do that. But okay, on the trucks, the Tundras. Now, certainly, I've never heard anyone complain about a leaky Tundra.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So, I mean, the Tundra's a really good truck. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. When you get into that half size and larger, they're a tough truck. As far as the
I heard Fords can be plagued with.
They can be.
Older motors are pretty bad.
The older ones.
Yeah, the 5.4s.
The newer ones are better.
Yeah, they're much better.
But I heard of all the trucks we've just mentioned, Dodge would be the most problematic, or not?
I don't think so.
I would say Ford and Dodge would be tied for that. Chevy seems to be better about.
I think you're probably right. I think the Dodge Ram is probably the cheapest of the three. They are the cheapest.
With the exception of maintenance, though. The Ram pickup will cost you more in maintenance.
What pickup truck all around would have the least maintenance and the least cost?
I'd say Chevy.
Probably Chevy.
Really?
I'd say
the Tundra would have more maintenance?
Well, it's going to be more cost for the Tundra. So it's going to be close to the same maintenance, but you will pay more for that Tundra.
So the better value. Chevy trucks are great values.
100%.
And the Tacoma is probably the best built
mid-size pickup. Yep.
Mid-size.
Really?
Hands down.
Wow.
Hands down. In fact, you might as you really don't want to buy a used Tacoma within the 2 years because they're almost the same price as a brand new one.
Same thing for the 4Runners.
Yeah. Same thing.
All right. By the way, tell Sandy we'll take her after the break. I see she called back, 303-713-TALK. I want to remind you, listen, so many people called on that $19 furnace clean and check, the extreme clean from Fix It 24/7. Believe me when I tell you, $19 is a steal. It doesn't even pay their gas to get out there. They spend a minimum of 90 minutes or more to go through your entire system, get rid of all the dirt, the grime, the grease, the buildup. They check and lube. They make sure that's running right. And it's just $19. Honest to God, you can never find it. They only wanted to do the first 20 callers. They had so many calls that they said, and mark this down and tell your friends, seriously, these guys are good people, that if you call, you can call before 5 o'clock. They've taken the limit of 20 off. 720-526-3939, just $19. Now, anybody can afford that, especially before the cold snap. That's 720-526-3939. You can schedule it. Don't have to have it done today. Hail damage? Get help now with the exterior home professionals at Genesis Total Exteriors. They do roofs, siding, stucco, windows, decks, and more. So everything can be handled by one trusted company. One estimate. Think smart. Think GenesisTotalExteriors.com. On my referral list for many years. At referrallist.com or GenesisTotalExteriors.com. 303-679-8509. 679-8509. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. That's all I have to say. Just get him and you'll be happy, whether you're buying or selling real estate. That's it. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I've known him the entire 30 years he's been in business, and I can tell you without any doubt that no one will do a better job. To find out, you can do a free service, which he evaluates your home for what you will get on that home, gross and net. He does it based on the house, the neighborhood, the comps, supply and demand, everything surrounding that house. He'll tell you what you'll clear and what you can buy. No obligation. 303-920-1622.
So I text the owner and see if he does that, because that's a very rare case, because nobody has, if you had a payment of $836, nobody has $30,000 that they're putting down on a car. Usual. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I asked him if we're still doing that. So hopefully he'll get back with me, do a one-time, because that would be what you're talking about to protect.
If I wanted to lease through you can't do that, because you'd have to go out and buy the vehicle, or how would you do that? Or do you just work with dealers and do leases the same way?
Yeah, we got the banks that will do a lease. Like I was telling you, we got the used car lease.
So if you found the car, you can get it leased to me.
Right, whether new or used. And a lot of new dealerships don't do that.
Used is not really smart if it's really used, because most of the depreciation is gone, right? You have a lower payment.
We're talking within 3 years. It only works within 3 years from the current date. So after that, yeah, you're right. So.
And what are more popular leases, 3 or 4 years?
3 is probably your best savings. Overall cost for that lease is going to be your best money factor.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So.
And do you raise the money factor with the more money down, like some of them do? That's what they do to take advantage of that.
No, I don't. Whatever the credit union gives me is what I give them. They give us a flat on what it is. So.
How many miles are they giving you per year anymore?
It's up to the customer.
It is.
So, but the max I think is 16,000, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
It goes. I thought it went up to 20. It only goes to 16.
The ones that I'm familiar with will do that.
Where do you get the real preferred rates? At 10 to 12?
Yeah, 8 is your preferred.
8. You should just walk to work.
Keep it in the garage.
Yeah. That brings down that money factor.
8,000 divided by, let's say, just.
That sounds like what an EV car would get per year.
Yeah, some people don't drive.
That's 22. Well, actually, you know what? I don't do probably much more than that. I mean, really, if you think about it, 22 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the show from home. I go to the airport.
And as we get older, typically
our
our miles start dropping. Yeah. As we get older. And
I could probably do 10,000 a year. I probably could.
Yeah.
The first
I do
time
50
you
miles
that,
away a day just for
go on
work.
vacation somewhere.
25 to,
Right,
25
right.
back.
5,000 miles.
Right.
That's 233 miles to the county.
Wow.
But Rodney, if you do over the mileage, the residual is lower, right? Or no, you have to pay.
You have to pay for those miles.
Yeah. And the rate you pay, does it turn out better to claim those miles up front on the lease or to get the preferred
Always
rate?
better to buy it up front.
To be honest up front.
Yeah.
Rather
Well, they're gonna. It's not being honest. You just.
No, I know. I
Yeah,
need to
but
be
you just
accurate.
Be accurate and just go the other way, basically, instead of because, you don't want to ever get caught up with $2.50 per mile. It changes everything. If you're over by 10,000 miles.
But if you're going to buy the car, they don't ding
It doesn't matter. Yeah, if you're going to buy it, doesn't
at the end if you buy it from yourself.
Mm-hmm. Or release it. A lot of guys just release their car.
But Jesus, but it's already okay.
It's about payment. A lot of guys don't want the payment, so they release it. They get the maximum amount of savings every month, especially with Toyota, because the residual, the value stays strong.
Do they, is it like a home mortgage? If you release it, do they give you a free month or two?
No.
Between?
No, they don't want you to. They want that car to sell it. They don't want people keeping their cars, do they?
No, they don't. 'Cause they make more money the other way, and not only that, some of the dealerships right now won't allow us to buy their leases anymore. So you were talking about that earlier, how they steal from people with the lease and won't give.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Sandy, what's going on? Hello, Sandy.
Hi. Well, I don't know if you can do anything about this, but I just want to tell you, just in case other people have this problem.
Yeah.
My husband passed away in 2020
Yes.
in November.
Uh-huh.
And in 2021, that year was still okay yet with the deductions of Medicare Part B. And in 2022, the deductions were okay in Medicare Part B.
Well, hold on.
happened
Are you on Social Security as well?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so when he passed away, how did your payment change?
Well, when he passed away in 2020, in 2021, when I transferred all of his assets, I guess, over the 401ks and everything to my name, it went up. In 2023.
Hold on. So you started getting the way they do it is they adjust your payment for as a survivor for your husband's benefit, right?
Right.
And what did your
my
payment?
income-
How much did your payment go up?
In 2023, my payment went up per year. I lost
No.
3,600.
When he died in 2020, in 2021 it went up, right?
Yes.
What did it go up? It did not.
That was no, because I didn't invest anything until. Well, I thought. Well, this is what I thought.
I don't know what you're
was
talking
of-
about investing. Are we talking about Medicare? I mean, excuse me. We're talking about Social Security, right?
Yeah, Medicare Part D that was deducted.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm asking. I really need to get a clearer picture, and I can help you. But your Social Security payment, just you, do you get Social Security apart from your husband?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
How much a month did it change your payment when your husband died?
Okay. Well, in 2020, when he passed away in November, it didn't change. It changed in 2021. And my benefit in Part B, is that what you're talking about?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Keep going with your story. No, I don't think go ahead, dear. Just tell me what the problem is now.
Okay. I know what you want. On 2021, my total benefit was $20,838. Okay.
Yeah, was that
And
upper? Did you let me just ask it this way. Did you have any survivor benefits at all from your husband's payments? Did you get any part after your husband died? Did your monthly check go up?
I don't think so.
Were you both getting about the same amount of money when he died?
Yeah, no, he was on para, so he got very little.
Then he did not get Social Security, right?
Yeah, he worked enough to pay into Social Security, and I think he got like $500.
Okay, then I understand. You were actually making more. See, the reason I ask for those listening, if you're on Social Security with a spouse and your spouse gets a lot more than you do, when that spouse dies, you get some of that benefit toward yours. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. But right now, now I understand why you did not do that. Okay, so he died in 2020. In 2021, you were still getting Social Security, and tell me then keep going. What happened then?
And that Part D was normal, 2021.
Right.
And 2022 is pretty well normal. You know, it went up a little bit.
Okay.
But in 2023, from the original Part B in 2022 was $2,041.20. In 2023, it went up to $5,143.20
a year,
along with a year.
Okay, so you had a big increase in Part B. 2 years. I don't think it had anything to do with your husband dying, right? It had not that was just has nothing to do with it.
Oh, it doesn't.
No. Why would it? Why would it, dear? Why would?
Well, I don't know, because in 2021, my adjusted gross income went way up, and we assumed it was from my husband's stuff coming into my name.
Well, okay, I understand. When you transferred stuff to you from your husband, they may have counted that as income. It could have, but you're saying that you're paying too much for Part B coverage. Is that what you're saying in a nutshell?
In 2023, I did. Yes.
What about now? Did it go back down?
Now in 2024, yes. My total
did it go back down? That's all. I don't need to know number.
Yes.
Did it go back down?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll tell you why.
Yes, it sure did.
Exactly what you said. They're attributing your proceeds that you got from your husband. They're attributed as income, and I did not know that they do that. I didn't know it was considered income.
Oh.
I can find out if that's proper. Is Integra Insurance around, Kachina? Maybe we can get a quick answer for you. Hold on. I think that could have happened, dear. I think that. How much did you get in total from your husband's estate?
Well, I'm not quite even sure.
Like roughly, you transferred a bunch of. Go ahead.
Well, they took it from the adjusted gross income, what I got in 2021. Which was way up to $157,000.
Okay.
But normally it's down to like $100,000 all the rest of the years.
Yeah. See, what they do is they figure Part B. They don't figure Part B immediately because they can't. They go back and look and then figure Part B. So when you got that money, I have a feeling this is a delayed increase from the money you got from your husband.
Right. It must have been. So I was not allowed to go back now and because I filled out the life-changing event forms and everything and went down there. But I would have had to fill out the 2021.
Well, what would you fill out? I don't understand. What do you think you could have done?
Well, it depends upon the year because it goes, now I know it goes 2 years back.
Right.
And they would adjust it. They would have adjusted it for me.
But you did get that money, though. They weren't inaccurate, right? How would they adjust it? I don't get it. They go back and look at your income. So how would they have adjusted it?
Well, because it was a one-time life-changing event.
Oh, and are you saying they're excluded?
No, they can do it, but I would have had to check this out in 2022, which
are you saying because you got the money in 2021, it's too late to go back and adjust it?
Yeah, you have to go back in that year.
Oh, doggone it. So as a result, how much more did you pay? What's the net loss to you?
Well, on 2023, it would have been $3,655.
So you would have saved, if you had done that life-changing event and got the exclusion, you would have saved $3,000.
That's right. Or $304.
So what are you calling? Okay, I understand, dear. I'm sorry for misunderstanding you in the beginning. So what are you calling about? What are you calling about now?
I just want to let people know, but I don't think now there's nothing I can do about it because
I don't know that either, and that's what I was gonna call our expert to find out, and he's on. I'm gonna talk to him right after the break. So hang on.
This is
Okay, Tom. I called my or texted.
I'm sorry, I was so confused.
Yeah. No, so he basically says no. They stopped that program. One-time payment, and the reason why, he said, they can't locate the cars from the people.
So then what happens if you have a lot of money to put down? You don't do it.
Oh, you can still do it. You just have to work the numbers because the numbers should stay the same thing.
You can't do a one-time payment, but you can
work the numbers backwards.
But what if the amount you're putting down is so much that it
goes into
it almost equals the payment? Does your payment become $1? I mean,
no.
Okay, no problem.
How do they credit a lot? I guess this is my question.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to lease an expensive car, how do I put a giant down payment down? A giant.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost damn near the lease payment.
Right.
How do you do that?
You put it down.
Are you saying you can't do it?
No, you're just putting it down to bring down that monthly. So if $800 is your monthly payment for 36 months, now you're
hold on a second. RK, today is car day, and I love having great shops. And RKC Automotive is one of our new shops that we welcome aboard at referralist.com. And you can go see them at RKC Automotive. They're at 2120 West Evans, and they do everything from engines to brake jobs, and they do electrics too. They do old and new, foreign and domestic, 25 years strong, Ramondo and his team. And they make sure no matter what happens, they always go over your entire car to make sure that you have what you need. And they're very honest about their recommendations. Will never recommend something you don't need. Go see them. You'll be happy. 2120 West Evans, RKC Automotive. You can find them on Facebook, 720-749-3965, 720-749-3965. Frank Duran, the real estate man, is making real estate history because he just keeps going. No matter what the market does, he outperforms it. That means if you need a house sold, you can depend on Frank. He's still getting multiple offers, still selling homes at record times for more money than the market average. If you want the performance of someone 30 years strong with guaranteed track record that you can look at and rest assured you're getting the best services, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, so what a pain in the ass I am already, but
no, I understand where you're going.
I'm going to give you a specific. If your lease payment, and this could happen, you could have a lease payment of $500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Times 36.
Mm-hmm.
What if I wanted to put down that much money?
And that's where I get lost, because if you want to put down more than that, because it's supposed to.
You can't. Trust me, I think my lease payment would be pretty high anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking my lease payment is going to be $2,500 times 36. but I could put down damn near that, is what I'm saying.
You
So
could.
let's say I put down 70.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I put down 70, does that mean my payment is going to be reduced that much?
I think so, because your monthly payment will change
But
that
they won't
much.
do the one. They won't do the one time. They have to work it. So
I think you would go into the residual and eat up the and start buying down the residual, right? Because that's the part
you buy up the. It's just the opposite. The residual would be worth more. If it was worth less, it would penalize you. Oh wait, no.
No, you're buying down your residual.
You're buying down the purchase at the end.
Right,
Oh, okay.
right. So that the extra, if you bought down that, then you'd buy down that part because you have to have a payment, and that's what Jim is basically
He's saying you have to have a payment so they know where you are at all times.
Right. People would do the one time, and you wouldn't see them in 4 years. So that's why they stopped it.
Yeah, that's not good.
But I'll definitely ask that again. I'm saying, hey, won't you buy down that payment? I mean,
I'm wondering.
Guy out there for sure, but.
Mhm.
I mean, the hair.
Yeah, why wouldn't you though?
At least
if
the
you had
flower
that much
matches.
down.
Why
I mean, if
wouldn't
you had
finance-
30,000, yeah.
Why
if you
wouldn't you
had
finance it?
Yeah.
Because I thought.
I wonder about people that go on TV. They're like, yeah, this is how I want to present myself.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I think it would have a very low payment. It has to have a low payment. So but I just don't know the benefits of if you're putting that much down, why not do 36 months, put that much down, and now your payments is based off a 36-month loan.
In other words, with a loan instead of a lease.
Right.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like I said, people were telling me, if you don't put a lot of miles on it, why pay for the whole car if you just pay for what you use? I was never in that position before because I always put on too many miles.
Okay.
But I may still not be in that position. I mean, once you're cash strong in cars, and you don't ever put, it's hard to convert back. I mean, it really is. It's hard to go back to not being cash. If I'm making sense.
It is. You are making sense, but in 3 years, it's still quite a bit of value there. The downside is if you had an accident.
Yeah, that's why you mean with a lease or with a purchase?
With a purchase. Because at least the residual is the residual. You can send it back and say, I don't want the car no more because I had an accident. It's not the same car. But a loan, if you did it in 36, you broke and you had that car belongs to you no matter what condition it is in. That's the only downside I see.
Four to six.
Friday at 4, the left created this migrant crisis. The left wanted this migrant crisis. The left is using these migrants as political pawns, and now Colorado is swamped with problems. Will it change the way people vote in Colorado? Join us at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Dave has a comment on Sandy's problem. Sandy wants to know why, and I'm going to go to our expert. But believe me, our expert at Integra, they're more experts on health insurance, but they know a lot about Social Security in Part B and Part A because they help people with supplements and all that. So, Dave, what is your comment on Sandy's situation?
My comment is that Social Security works the same way as income tax. In the income tax, when your wages go way up, you pay a higher percentage. Well, Social Security does exactly the same thing. I've been through this.
No, I understand that, Dave, but she was saying had she filed something as a life-changing event, it could have been excluded for that year. I don't know what she's talking about.
That's not true.
Okay, I'm going to find out. John Jones Jr. with Integra Insurance, you help a lot of people with Part A and Part B. And, John, we've had this before where someone's Part B went up way high, their premium, and it was based on some extra money they got. So how does that work? How do they know what you're making?
How do they? Well, Medicare, Social Security, it's all tied together. And so your income, they look back at tax returns, they look back with the IRS, they look back at your income within the last 2 years. And it's called income-related monthly adjustment amount.
Okay.
And that is IRMA, IRMMA. And there's certain thresholds. And again, they look at income from tax returns 2 years prior. And if within that 2 years, your income has been above certain thresholds, and you can find these charts all over. I mean, if you're a single tax filer, joint tax filer, it gives you what those thresholds are.
Okay, so if she had a lump sum from her husband's death, from his estate, or his whatever it is, pension, saving, whatever, is that considered income?
It could. Yeah, it could bump that up. Now, there's also a way through Medicare where you can file an appeal. You can appeal it. You say, listen, this was a one-time.
That's right. She said that.
Right,
but she said there's only 2 years to do that?
Yes. I mean, because they only look back 2 years. So is she, I'm sorry, I missed it. Did she pay this a long time ago, this higher premium?
She paid the higher premium. I can tell you. She paid the higher premium in 2023.
Oh, okay.
Let me make sure of that. Sandy, are we talking about the increase in premium was in 2023?
Yes, Medicare Part B, and also I had a D on it.
No, I get it. So, John, it was in 2023, but it came from income she got in 2021.
Okay. And
that was why I adjusted those income went up. Yeah.
So it's back down now for 2024.
That's right.
You're not paying that IRMA anymore for 2024.
Right. That's right.
So you're wanting to try to recoup the additional that you paid for 2023.
Exactly.
I don't know that you're going to be able to do that. I mean, you already went through the whole year paying that premium.
Okay.
And it was due to that can impact what your
Yeah, that was her question. Is it too late? And I think you're saying yes, it is too late.
I believe so. I mean, yeah, I can double check. I'll research that a little bit, but I can double check that. But I believe it's too late.
No, they told me it was too late. I would have had to file in 2022, but I had no idea about this. Of course,
So you have to file it when you actually get the money.
Well, and no, they go back 2 years. Like 2023, I'm paying for what.
Yeah, I understand that.
2021.
So when you get an increase is when you have to let them know it's a one-time event.
Well, you'll get a letter. You'll get a letter saying, hey, this is your income is shown above this amount, and you are going to be responsible for IRMA.
Okay, so John, let me ask you something. So when you do they always for a one-time event, do they always waive it?
Oh, no, not always.
So it's not a foregone conclusion. It's not a foregone conclusion.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, John. Listen, are we still in any kind of enrollment period for anything?
I mean, it's technically what's called open enrollment for Medicare Advantage. That's if you got into a Medicare Advantage plan that was not what you thought you were getting, or you want to change your Medicare Advantage plan, you can do so in the months of January, February, or March. And so people on Medicare Advantage plans who are in a plan that they're not happy with already, they're allowed to change that plan these first 3 months of the year.
And what about Medicare supplements? You can't change those until open enrollment again, right?
Oh, no, Medicare supplement. If you have a Medicare supplement, you can change that any time of the year as long as you medically qualify. So you just
really,
There's not a single month that you can't. The annual enrollment period has to do with Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans. Open enrollment is Medicare prescription drug plans. And so, if you're on a supplement, you can shop that any time of the year.
Okay, great. I just learned something very important. Somebody had asked me that. So the answer is you can shop, as long as you medically qualify, you can change supplements. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. I took line 2 unless that's Man, that gets complicated. Are you on Medicare?
I was just going to comment on that. Your expert, he was right, but Social Security will also screw you over. With me, I had a big windfall because I sold a large piece of land, like in 2021. It should have went down in 2022, but the IRS did not send in my tax report soon enough.
We have state income tax.
So they assumed it was the same?
So Social Security assumed it.
Did you appeal it?
Oh, yeah. You can appeal it. But I mean, you got to go down there.
Because you got a refund.
I got it back eventually, but it's
they
a process.
consider that part of your revenue, part of your income.
I mean, I just thought, geez, it wasn't my fault they didn't send in the report.
LazyDays.com will get you to all of the Lazy Days RVs, the RV Authority along the Front Range and in almost every state. LazyDays.com. And here in Colorado, they have merged with our friends at Century RV at Exit 240 and I-25. So now they are Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont, and they have a great service facility up there. All you have to do is take a ride up Exit 240 and then down Frontage Road about a half mile on the east side. You will love their maintenance facility. 303-453-1111.
Tom, did you know that Lazy Days, remember the RV that I'm still working on in Rocky Mountain in Brighton? Lazy Days won't work on anything older than 10 years.
Really?
You kept on telling the guy to go up to Lazy Days.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mark knew that. He caught that right away.
How did Mark know?
Only because I said I'm sending the guy.
But how did did Mark just knew? Oh, maybe because of his art. I don't know.
He said it's a corporate policy.
Okay, but I don't know how he knew that because he must have talked to them. They must have told him that for my spots. I don't think I should.
No, I think what it was. I said the owner of the RV says they wouldn't work on it over 10. And Mark said, "Yeah, that's a corporate."
Okay,
he
got it.
Piggybacked onto it.
Okay. So Rodney, that's I think that really there comes a point if you have a lot of cash, you shouldn't lease. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because you done beat the lease already. I mean, there's no reason why you would.
There's no reason to lease because your payment's going to be low anyway. I see what you're saying exactly. Yeah. The whole reason of a lease is to keep payments low.
Right.
And if you have a bunch of cash to put down, and they're not going to apply all that equity, you may as well not lease.
Right.
Because what the hell do you care about the residual at the end of 3 years if you're not going to buy it?
Right.
Yeah. The example he used, if you have 36 months, $500, which is $18,000, and you put $18,000 down,
they won't let
you. You don't have any more payments, or they
Right.
won't
So
let
They
you.
won't let you. He says they used to, but they don't do that
They
anymore.
won't do that.
They want to keep track of you through payments.
Right.
Yeah, because you could be anywhere.
I wonder what percentage of people with leases do abscond with cars. I really wonder. I wonder if that's a thing.
I think it was during that time. Yeah, I think it definitely was during that time from what he's telling me. I can see how that happens.
Who'd you check with? The boss man over there, the owner?
Yeah.
You're not the owner?
Not today.
Okay.
So.
Now you buy cars too, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm
You
one of
are
the
like
buyers.
Centennial leases.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be compared to those. In fact, we picked up like 3 guys from Centennial last week. So
My son bought a car through them, and
they're good guys.
he was happy. Anytime you don't have to go to the dealership.
Right.
Okay, these guys do a one-pay lease at Cars Direct.
Cars Direct? Really?
It says you'll save an interest up front too. You save a lot. One-pay leases typically qualify you for special incentives, very low APRs, and are good for people with trade-ins.
Oh, I bet you it's in-house lease.
Let me see. I don't know. I'm just looking.
I've never even heard of Car Direct.
It's here, carsdirect.com. And what is it? This is just their articles. This is not them. They're just saying. So this might be outdated too, Rodney. Yeah. This is like, it's November 2023, and it says, can I benefit from can I save money with a one-pay lease? Yes, you can, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean necessarily you can actually find one.
Right.
They're just saying that they're a great option.
And I actually sold a guy's Porsche right across on Bellevue. And he had a one payment lease, and about 4 years ago, he said, and it worked out great.
Another one, car intelligent, but I want to know about what's the one payment.
What I know, I like to think of me making money on my $18,000 by having it in a CD versus giving it to you.
And
Not
that's,
you, but you know
and
what I'm
that's
saying?
part of the philosophy behind leasing. Yeah. You keep the money and you letting it grow instead of giving everything to them and putting that down as a down payment. So that's a part of the strategy. And a lot of times you see people with really nice cars, 9 times out of 10, they're leasing it because it saves them, you know, at least 30%.
If they still do them or not, because he knows he deals with the banks.
I always thought leasing was only. I did lease a couple cars.
Donald Trump winning this election.
Trump.
Nikki Haley. She'll give Donald Trump a great run for the money.
And what about the pick for VP?
How hard could it be? Harris is currently doing it.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. So JFR Cars, when they're not here, by the way, jfrcars.com, 303-520-6839. And they can do leases, and they can do also purchases, and they buy cars, and they consign cars. And then we have Jeff Fick, Kimmer Transmission. And, you know, Jeff, I had this other question earlier. You do more than transmissions, but is that for existing customers or for anyone? How does that work? I know I always say transmissions. What else do you do?
As a general rule, we stick to the drivetrain, so transmission, transfer case, differential, clutch type of stuff. You know, if the workload permits it, then yes, we'll bring in other work, you know, whether it's brake jobs or, you know, an engine swap or something like that. But as a general rule, most of the other work we do is for existing customers, or while you're there, you're putting a transmission in my car, would you mind checking my brakes, and get that done at the same time? So as a general rule, the outstanding work that outside of our specialty, we don't bring in as a regular menu item.
Okay. What is your number, Jeff? I'm sorry.
303-693-1400.
693-1400. Thank you. 693-1400. I just wanted to put that down here. Okay, good. All right, so as we're talking about, we were talking off the air about, oh, never mind. We have somebody who has a question. I want to get him in under the wire. Andrew, go ahead, Andrew.
I know we're up against the clock. I'm going to try and make this quick.
Sure.
Tom, I got a 1099 form in the mail for my state income tax refund from last year, and it says
that's right.
That if I overpaid, I don't understand how I have to claim that as income.
You're saying if you overpaid and then they gave it back to you, how is that income?
Right.
Because it was income before you paid it in.
Right, but I paid taxes on that income.
Okay. You did not pay tax on the income that they withheld for state tax. You only pay, I think that's the way it goes. But Andrew, we'll be happy to get you on with an expert if you want to give your number to Kelly. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, call 303-MARTINO for help, information, and referrals. And save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino.
How
And
do I
stay connected
sign
with
up?
all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
The only real clean for my home, I'm Tom Martino. For Zero Res, no soaps or chemicals, get Zero-Fied. Carpets and ductwork, 23% off. Clean Out 2023. 303-471-5150, ZeroResDenver.com.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino with the best deal ever on quality Rheem or A.O. Smith water heaters. But you better act fast. Prices are going up at the first of the year. A new 40-gallon tank, just $1,299. 50 gallons, just $1,399. 6-year warranty, and they'll even dispose of the old one free. Better call now. Euro Plumbing, 303-668-6844. EuroPlumbingColorado.net, 668-6844.
People join Walk MS to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. Walk MS brings communities together, creating teams with friends, loved ones, and coworkers to rally around those we care about and end MS forever. Together, we can change the world for people with MS. Register today at walkms.org.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Former President Trump's defamation case is now in the hands of a New York jury, which will determine damages for E. Jean Carroll after she accused him of sexual assault. While Carroll's attorney was making her closing arguments, Trump abruptly rose from his chair and exited the courtroom. The U.S. still working back channels to achieve a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. At the White House today, National Security spokesperson John Kirby.
We continue to do everything we can to facilitate another hostage deal, just like we did back in November.
This is today. The UN's top court demanded that Israel try to contain death and damage in its Gaza offensive, but stopped short of ordering a ceasefire. An Alabama man became the first person in the U.S. to be executed by nitrogen gas. Critics calling it inhumane, but Alabama's Attorney General called it successful and is offering help to other states who want to execute using nitrogen gas. On Wall Street, the Dow up 35 points. This is ABC News. Climate advocacy groups and activists hailing the Biden administration's decision to pause all new applications to export natural gas.
The Department of Energy is launching a review to determine how to factor in the impact of climate change when approving new natural gas export facilities, but will not halt current natural gas exports. This would be the first time the federal government has considered blocking this kind of project because it would contribute to climate change. The president said in a statement this pause on new approvals sees the climate crisis for, quote, what it is, the existential threat of our time. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The annual travel rush in China for the Lunar New Year holiday has officially begun. Over the next 40 days, 9 billion trips are expected to travel domestically. That's nearly double that traveled in 2023. About 80% of travelers will get away by plane, train, and automobile. China's Lunar Year holiday season is the world's largest mass migration event. Dave Packer, ABC News.
District 4 congressional candidates participated in a spirited debate last night. 9 candidates were on the stage touting their qualifications to replace Ken Buck. 3rd District Congresswoman Lauren Boebert drew criticism for switching districts and defended her decision.
My boys and I needed a fresh start. That's been very public of what the home life looked like, and I'm sorry to bring that up. I've tried to put it into a very pretty package and bring my ex-husband lots of honor, but since there is nothing private about my personal life, it is out there.
In addition to the District 4 debate, there was also a debate for District 8 Republican candidates at last night's event in Fort Lupton. The Denver Police Department plans to add 167 new officers and 111 new license plate readers to the city. It's part of a 5-step plan the mayor and police chief announced to crack down on car thefts. The department has already had success with license plate readers as car thefts at DIA dropped by 90% after the devices were installed there. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Some good news over on the north end of town. I-25 northbound, a recent crash just after US 36 and I-270 has been all cleared up. Still seeing some busy driving back from I-76. Only about 3 or 4 minutes of delays. Into downtown, I-25 north and southbound, no complaints. It's easy driving I-70 east and westbound to and from the DIA area, leaving DIA Pena Boulevard southbound. Watch out for some busy traffic between Tower Road and 56th. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, warming up after this morning's snow, high 44 degrees, overnight low of 24. Warming up again tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 49. The current temperature in Denver is 41 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Frank Duran, the real estate man with RE/MAX Alliance. He is a certified negotiation expert, and he knows how to aggressively market your home.
With our specialized marketing knowledge, we aggressively implement the most advanced, innovative, and proactive marketing plan you will find anywhere.
For all things real estate, do not hesitate to call 303-920-1622 or get tips online at frankdurantherealestateman.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW. Now, Uncommon Sense with Leland Conway on 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Like a fuse and run now, brother, 'cause you ain't got a lot of time. Surprise when it all goes to hell on your dime.
So I kind of hope I get a ticket. No, hear me out on this, okay? We actually have a guest coming up here in just a couple minutes, Kenneth Raposa. He's an expert on the markets and EVs, electric vehicles, and the electric vehicle mandates. We're going to talk to him. But I got to tell you what happened. So I'm driving in today, and I'm on the emergency, or not the emergency, I'm on the express lane in the Gap. And I have to get out of the express lane by crossing the double white lines to avoid a emergency vehicle. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably going to get a ticket. And then I was like, wait a minute, I kind of hope I do, because I want to make a big deal of it. And I think I will. Because there's no differentiation in this revenue grab. And it is a revenue grab. There was a story on KRDO yesterday about millions of dollars being taken in by the state for people crossing a white line of the express lane. And there's no way to differentiate. Now, I don't have a problem with saying, hey, you're not supposed to cross a white lane. Once you get in the express lane, stay in it and go a speed that doesn't hinder other people. The problem is when you have